And welcome to another edition of Encounters. And we are here, and I've got the radio on. I've got everything set up just in case anything happens. So I said, you know what? I think we're going to set the radio up. And we'll do our regular show. And then if anything happens, it'll come through the radio and I'll let you hear it. Kimberly, thank you for the roses. Excuse me. So people are still going crazy, creating ridiculous videos on TikTok. I mean, I can't believe the amount of new videos I've seen in 24 hours of everyone going nuts with this whole thing in Miami, Florida. And I just haven't jumped on the bandwagon. You know, when your background is news media, when you're a contactee, when you've had numerous sightings since the 1960s, and then you have all these people that have not even seen one thing out of Miami, but they all have commentary from the religious people. They're all coming out of the woodworks. All these people kind of TikTok, they all got something to say about Miami, Florida, about, oh yeah, what about that potential tall being? You know, and then you hear the police officer saying nothing like that happened, and there were no military helicopters or anything. You know, one officer in Miami comes forward. I heard his video on another, I think YouTube or somewhere. You got all these people jumping up and down in the community. Not all of them are involved in ufology or involved in the subject, but because it's about Miami and it's a sensationalized topic, people that have no interest in the subject are jumping in and making commentary. Just because they have TikTok or YouTube or whatever it is, right? Blessings, Morningstar. Good to see everybody coming in here. The commander, on the other hand, is looking at this thing very critically from a very objective standpoint. I'm not jumping in and saying, hey, there's those 10 feet people that came out of that thing over in the mall when the kids with sticks and everything were all beating each other up. And maybe that's the reason why they had all these different counties with police cars at that mall that night. Maybe. You know, I've got myself on frequency 1710. Morning said, I'm from Florida. I feel it's true. But the thing is, you know, and good evening, Morningstar. But, you know, a feeling of it's true and having actual information is really important because it could be, but there really isn't definitive information for us to be jumping in one way or the other, you know. And, you know, all the TikTokers out there, even for all those people creating videos, none of them really, honestly, have any substantive, I can't get the words out. They don't have any information that is from a source or accurate, or even a video of said being or beings. For me, everything has to be at least documented. No one can even document real information. Major AP83, we did have communications last night, and I have posted it on my YouTube channel. It's on there now from last night's show. You'll hear Godico speak towards the latter part of the show, but you'll hear him. So I take a completely different viewpoint. I'm not saying that there's not a possibility, possibly, of something that happened, but I need to see some definitive information that's coming, like a video of somebody that was in that area that got videotape of this 10-foot tall being or beings. Without that, you know, it's just he said, she said, they said, possibly. But there's not any, and if anybody on TikTok is honest who's created videos, who are creators, be honest. You really don't know what went down there. except for the official reports on the Miami news stations that are stating that it was this big thing that happened with kids and this fight that happened and other crazy stuff in the shopping mall, which, if it was big enough, would have caused, how do we know how different departments work? If it was that crazy, they probably had to bring in all those departments. We'll say, well, how could that be possible? They need that many people. How would you know? How would you know? That's the thing. And really and honest, and that's where I have to always be honest, is we don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Nobody does, except for those who were physically there. And even if there was something there, again, with all the media, with all the cell phones, the iPhones, the Android phones, nobody was able to get any video footage of possible 10-foot tall space people walking around the mall. Come on now, man. Truth could be suppressed, but also the ability to video record what is happening is totally possible with 10,000 people having cell phones. I mean, that's where I'm at. Get me a leaked video of a close-up of one of these 10-foot tall beings, and I'm the first person, being that I'm a contactee, I want to believe something is real that happened down there. But somebody out there better have actual video, not portrayals of what the ET looked like, not paintings, not things from the internet that show an ET that looks like a gray person or whatever. Real, actual footage, because anything else is purely conjecture, possibilities of people's belief systems, agendas, and thoughts. It is nothing to do with real, actual footage. It's not. We have to be honest. And if there is an ET or ETs that came through there, obviously, on the other end of it, who was being aggressive and hostile would be the authorities, if it is true. If it is true. And then on the other hand, if it's not true, then those police officers were there because something major happened with all these kids. They had to bring all these police. Now, I've never seen that many police cars at a shopping mall. Miami's a big city, so it's a little bit different than my small town, where I am here in New England. Hey, good evening, Nordia. I'm just putting it out there. This is where I am right now. And a lot of people want to believe something really otherworldly happened in Miami. But understand, wanting to believe something is different than having factual information about what happened. Somebody out there has that information in Miami. It could be the authorities. It could be somebody on the street that had a video recording. But there's got to be somebody in 2024 with a cell phone that recorded what was going down on the ground level. All we're seeing is these videos of something from a aerial view that supposedly shows this being or two beings walking. Another person says, well, in the videos, those are two police officers walking outside. They're not ETs. So again, honestly, there's still nothing definitive, close enough visually where we can make an actual decision, say, oh yeah, that's what it is. There isn't. Honestly, you're watching. I know he said it was true last night, and I want to ask Godico more about that the next time we speak. He said it was true, and I believe. I have no reason not to believe him since he's on a spaceship. But we're living on Earth in a projected frequency where we have media, and I do believe we've been lied to, and you've heard me say it before, that we've been lied to forever, for 70 years. I'm sure they have ways of covering things up like this. If there is an ET or ETs that came through a portal in a mall, and it's possible that these kids opened up some sort of Stargate, whatever they were using, who knows, That's kind of weird. So, I mean, it's open for discussion, and I think that's where I'm at. I'm not gonna, Godico did say that it was true that there was some sort of space being. We didn't have to really a discussion with Godico. The contact wasn't as strong as we wanted it to be last night. He's coming a lot stronger. I've got my radio on 1710 right now, so in case he's listening and he wants to come through, I'll let him come through because he can hear everything I'm doing. I got it on 1710 AM from now on. I've been told that's the frequency they will communicate on. So I got my Ratty radio here, the new one. I got my copper pyramid on top of that, and I got my apotholites on both sides. So the radio's behind me. If he decides to come through and talk about it, he's welcome to do so. I have it set up. It's fully powered, and he can come up. So we can have a discussion about it, and certainly he answered yes or no. Yes, he answered yes. You did answer that, Renee, and I do believe him. The problem I'm having is with all these different TikTok videos that are always, these creators are going nuts with it, and I just want to see an actual video of the being. There must be somebody, even the authorities, who I don't believe. The authorities must have something. They have cameras, they have video cameras. If they were watching this being walking, how come? I mean, I'm sure they, I'm saying, why didn't they videotape it? They probably did. So I do believe what Godico said. The thing is, I'm having trouble with all the TikTok videos that I see on here. Yeah. L1NC. Yeah, Godico was very direct in him saying, yes, there were space people on the ground level in Miami. I do believe that. I believe it 100%. My only problem is with all these people sensationalizing things on TikTok with their videos, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. And there are people jumping on the bandwagon who have never, ever dealt with the subject of ETs or UFOs. The only reason they're doing it is because it's the topic. It's the big TikTok thing, right? Oh, yes, UFO Mania. We loved your live in Japan. I don't understand Japanese, but I do support your brother in Japan, UFO Mania. Very, very nice to have you with us here. It's all about supporting each other. When you're Japan, Japanese ufology group, UFO in Japan, I was on his live this morning, and very beautiful. I appreciate that. Hey, Lakita. So we're going to definitely do some interviews here. I'm going to bring Chesno up here if he's home. Chesno, I hope you're not riding in the snow. Everyone say hello to UFO Mania, my friend in Japan. They have a nice group of TikTok people in Japan dedicated to the subject of ufology in the ET area. So we're glad to have them with us. Hello, Amy, Tina, Lopez. And I fell asleep last night, missed everything. Did you make contact? Yes, we did. We finally did, Jan. It's on my YouTube channel. In the latter part of the video, you'll hear Godico speak. Godico, we talked about music, and it was a little bit funny. We asked him, Godico, do you like Taylor Swift? And he said, no, 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 no. It was very funny. His response was, no, 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 no. And you'll hear it on the video, on the video recording. We tried to get into information about his planet, which I'm going to try to do the next time he's on here. So I finally decided to have my radios on to 1710 AM nightly on my lives. Oh, you have a cold right now. I hope you feel better. Take it easy, man, Chesno. Definitely feel better. Ask him how to make the connection stronger. I will. I will definitely ask him. I got somebody down in someone that I've never met before. It's coming on here. His to the ground, but he's coming above for now in a warmer climate. Good evening.
I am so sorry. I didn't
Let
realize
me
you
turn
were
my
on. I
volume
don't know
up
if
here
you
a bit.
saw that I was just trying to call you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
I just turned my volume up. I had it all the way down.
Oh, okay. So listen to this.
Yeah,
I just got done recording an episode of the podcast, right?
yeah,
And we've got over 30 episodes in,
yeah.
and the process is always the same, okay?
Hmm.
So this episode is we're talking about the Miami ET incident and all of the
Yeah,
stuff going on and Epstein. It was a real contentious episode, right?
yeah.
So what do you do when you get done recording an episode? You go to edit the episode, right?
Right,
So um within the conversation of the episode, obviously we're talking about ETs and spirituality and
right.
contact, exposure, all of that stuff. So I go to um edit the video. So the episode, this theme song was this episode was gonna start with the theme song from Unsolved Mysteries. Remember the
Okay.
show Unsolved
Oh yeah,
Mysteries?
I used to watch that.
So we started it off do 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 do. The music is playing, and then
Yeah,
and then I come in doing my thing. This is James with Down the Rabbit Hole. Tonight's episode, all that stuff. I want to play for you what happened because now I also want to tell you while I was recording this episode, I was. I don't want to say I was distracted, but I was getting like a download.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I don't know if I just want to play this for you and I want you to hear it
yeah.
and I want you to tell me what you think.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, this is
Wait a minute.
Miami.
okay, so there's me coming in my
That's you.
voice. You hear how it muffled my mic?
Yeah, that's still you talking, but your mic is
And we
muffled.
are here. We're back. It's 2024.
No,
Boy,
okay.
has it started.
So anyway, um during the episode we were talking about the government um monitoring us and the shows and the
Yeah,
TikTok, your show and the
yeah,
TikTok and
yeah,
all of that and
yeah.
and we were talking about this Miami incident and because there's been more eyewitness testimonies are starting to come out and
Okay.
some really weird synchronicities, and we actually did some researching some stuff. So anyways, I wanted to share that with you. Welcome. I'll let you continue and then we could talk about what I found with the Miami thing.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, and this is my dear friend James. He's my original co-host. He's co-host tonight, and he's here. And you're on Encounters, everybody. And as the thing happened in Miami, I took it with a grain of salt the first time when I started seeing videos. I said, "What's going on here?" Because my focus is really trying to keep focused on what is cosmically real. And I started saying, wow, there was these kids were fighting each other. There was stuff going on, things that teenagers were doing, and all that stuff's going on. And I'm like to say, now where is this ET thing coming in here? Then I started hearing stories about the ET scenario, that there is a space being or beings that came through. Some people are stating without any visual information, there was more than one that came through this Stargate or portal, and that that's why all these police cars were there. They weren't there for the kids. They were there because of all these supposable space beings or tall beings that were walking around the mall or in the mall or outside the mall. So there's so much out there. I'm very careful when it comes to stuff because my news background, I want to get as concrete information as I can on something like this. Now, Gonico, yesterday night, we asked him straight out. He said yes. He said yes to the question someone asked about that, and so I believe him. I just don't. With all the videos that are being presented on TikTok, there's a lot of people, like I said before, jumping on the bandwagon just because it's the thing to do, versus people like us
Right.
and me, who are serious people involved in the subject, who are not making sensational videos with the same half footage of the police cars on the ground saying something. I'm not doing that. There's a reason why. I want concrete information on anything. I know Gatico very non-dramatically answered the question. He said it's either yes or no, and he said yes. So I believe him over all the TikTok videos that are posted out there. Now the question is, who are the space beings that came through? Where are they?
Right.
And some people said they were coming in and out, that you would see them and then they disappear and come back in, like they were interdimensional.
Well, I have some information on that.
I'm going to turn it over to you because you're down in Florida. I'm not. I want to know what you know.
Okay, so first off, I saw a video that really piqued my interest. It was not about um the Miami. It wasn't like a video from the mall. It was a video of this young man who was saying that, hey, my father is a sheriff in Miami and he's actually running for the sheriff of Miami.
Wow.
So he called his father on the phone and he's videotaping himself,
Right.
taping his father, and he says, "Hey, Dad, I'm making a video. I just wanted to talk to you and see what's going on with these people saying it's aliens in Miami." And he's like, "We can't talk about that." And he's like,
Oh, I
"Oh, come
saw
on,
that.
Dad. You can tell
I
me."
saw that video. Yeah, he wouldn't. He
Okay,
wouldn't answer.
so when I saw the video, I'm like, man, this video is fake as hell.
Right.
Okay. But then I went down the rabbit hole. And it turns out that gentleman is a sheriff, 15-year veteran of Miami Police Department, is actually running for the sheriff of Miami. And after watching his campaign videos and all of his stuff, seems like a pretty upstanding guy. And you could see the look of worry on his face.
Yeah.
And you could also see, he said to his son, he's like, listen, I don't know how you want me to slice this for you, kid. I can't say anything about it. And his dad hung up the phone.
Yeah.
So,
so that's different than this black gentleman who's a police officer who said there was nothing there. And that was on another, I think it was YouTube. I saw that video.
now also in Florida, and anybody that's in Florida can tell you, when any type of event happens that involve a large police presence,
Yeah.
these sheriffs love holding press conferences. They love holding a press conference. Why wasn't there a press conference at all for this?
Right. Opal Star's in Florida too, by the way. She's Opal says,
hello.
I didn't realize you were. Yeah, Opal is in Florida. Are you near Miami, Opal? Are you near Miami, Florida? I know there are people in Florida watching this.
She said, yes, they do. They do. So there's, and you know, me on the podcast, we tried to dissect everything. We said, okay, before we even talk about the ET thing, let's look at what other type of police presences require this type of response. So in my research, I was looking up past times there's been shooting, or I'm sorry, like, you know, things going on where SWAT team and officers are needed to be. I'm in Tampa too, guys. Anyway, like the Parkland issue that happened here in Florida. And when reviewing the cameras, there's like 23 cop cars SWAT team and
Right.
stuff like that. The police response to this event, whatever it was more than if it was like a president or an event
Right.
or something like this. It might be one of the largest single police presence moments we've had in an incident
Right.
of involving children ever.
Yeah.
So, and
What
somebody said
about
that a lot of people in Florida carry. So I also saw a video of a gentleman who explained exactly what he saw, and he said that he saw these 4 kids, teenagers,
right?
that were dressed very nicely, but
Yeah.
they had welders goggles on.
Yeah. They had some. They
Okay,
had some
and they
ring.
had
They had some equipment with them too.
and they had some equipment, and they were coaxing each other to plug it in. Hey, plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. So they finally plugged it in, and the guy said that it started to glow and a portal opened in front of
Yeah.
him, and he could
Yeah.
see what looked like a distortion field almost.
Right.
And he said I saw a foot come out and a hand come out, and as
Yeah.
soon as I saw that, I started running.
So someone's saying, Josh says, okay,
I
so
haven't
saw the
looked at the
video.
chat.
Of course, the news and police say it was debunked and not true. I don't know.
Well, so where's the press conference? Where's the who got arrested? What happened? Why is such a large presence? Why were the airports shut down?
That's another
That's the
question.
most important part. Why were
Why?
the airports shut down? Why was the air traffic controlled, and why so many military helicopters and FBI on site?
Now, I heard other stories that said people saying that they weren't shut down, that wherever those reports were coming from the social media videos, that was not true. Is anybody down there in Miami that can state that on that night that the airports were shut down and supposedly 60,000 people had no power? I mean, these are the things that are floating around all over the place, and I'm just trying to get to the truth.
Right. Was it a hologram? Was it a social test? There's so many questions, but um when I found out that officer was real, and that he's telling his son that he can't talk about it, and just the look, some you got to use your discernment. You got to you got to really try to read people.
Yeah.
And
Now, Big is saying,
whatever it was, he was scared to talk about it.
airplane routes, show, and activities. So if anybody is in Miami, can you tell us verbatim on encounters? What I'm trying to figure out is,
I'm gonna ask my contact too.
what was the airport in Miami shut down when this whole thing went down in Miami the other night? Or is that misinformation that's being put out there on TikTok and some other social media platforms? See, I have a show here called Encounters. So I'm not here to, jump in there and say, oh, yeah, I want to know, were airports shut down in the area? Were people losing power? Because during the night of the incident, you see electricity and light poles and everything lit up with no electricity lost around the mall. So that contradicts the possibility of why would the airports have to have no electricity and be shut down or whatever, and no air traffic.
Oh, well, somebody said no. Hey, look, somebody said 63,000 houses without power. So now, was it an EMP?
Right. That's the other question. Was it
Because if it
EMP?
was just a power line down, you don't need cops.
You know, see, there's a lot of questions here, and we need to know the source of the information. Like I was watching a Miami news channel, and they were talking about this because they talked about the social media stuff and the news. Now they could be covering stuff up too, but there was a CBS local channel in Miami, and they were talking about all this stuff on TikTok and all the hoopla. And so the question is, the report of 63,000 houses without power. Does anybody have a news source in Miami that had come on the news and said 63,000 houses were without power the night that this whole thing went down? That's what I want to know. Well, yeah, you could call the airport.
I just messaged a friend of mine who's a commercial airline pilot.
Oh yeah, he'd be able to find out. He's on the end. That'd be great if he can tell us on the inside that airport was not shut down. That at least takes one big thing that's been blown up here about the airport in Miami being shut down. That's the thing. And
I'm gonna read this article while you're talking, Commander. Let's see what the local news have to say.
Yeah.
Oh, they said that they caused that there was a riot.
Yep.
We've had so many riots happen in this country.
Right.
It's so funny that this is the first one that's not caught on video.
But and the funny thing is, there's no ground video at all. I mean, there's an aerial video, but no ground video. Why is there no ground video?
Yeah, where's the mall video? Where's the this must have been a really old mall with no cameras inside of it.
Renee Leonard says, oh, now it's a riot. So they must have been changing the story since the night it happened. It sounds like. It says...
and wait, one of the officers says everybody has cell phones and nobody has a video of the alien. And I'm like, wait a second. Everybody has a cell phone and nobody has a video of the riot.
Yeah, what happened with that? Now, if there was a riot at that mall, it would be videotaped. Every single thing that goes down is videotaped by some public person.
Well, it's different stories. The problem with disclosure is, and what I love about disclosure is the truth will come out, right, and light always wins. So in an NBC Miami article, it says it was a bunch of kids. It was a group of 50 kids.
Right.
And New York Post says that it was just a few kids starting a fight.
Yeah, it's all very... Kiki Murillo says they were making people delete the videos on the way out. Kiki, are you in Miami? And where did you get the report that they were making people delete the videos? Now that's interesting. Do you have the story on that? Where did you get the information about them making the kids delete their videos on their cell phones before they left the mall? Kiki, if you're still there.
How would you even coordinate that? Legally, even just legally, is that even possible?
Oh, Jessica's saying, yeah, I hear 4, and I heard they were told to delete videos too. So that's the second person saying that. Where were people hearing about deleting videos? Do you have any source or a link or anything regarding a story that these people, the teenagers or people in the mall leaving, had to delete anything they recorded? Anybody have a link? Any information direct that you can share on TikTok?
I'm reading right now, and what I'm seeing is a few different stories.
Right.
From news places.
Crazy reality. I got a video on my phone right now. A video of what? See, this is the thing I want to be very careful of. Do you have a video? Were you in Miami, and did you videotape what was happening there at that moment, or what do you have a video of related to what we're talking about in terms of We're trying to get really to the nitty gritty truth of what really went down there the other night in Miami. And there's, again, people are getting videos from TikTok. I have to be very, careful about that, because the videos on TikTok of people deleting their videos before leaving the mall. So if someone on TikTok has a video stating this, where's the source of that information from the TikToker that's recorded a video on TikTok saying that people would have to delete their videos? Is it a person saying they had to do it, or did they show people as they're, coming out of the mall having their videos deleted by the police? I'm trying to figure this out. I don't have a media source. Okay. That's right, Teresa. The stories are just all over the place. One video shows a tall image.
I just had I just had a reply back from Shy, so I'm gonna see if I can get any info from her.
Okay. If she tell her if she'd be willing to come on here on this new year, we'd love to have her on, and we hope she's feeling good. And there's no one else on, just you, me, and her, and our audience. And I'd like to see if she can give us any, updates on this. If it comes from
And I
I'm
want to see what
Shy,
she's got to say.
I'll actually believe, from her perspective, I would understand it. So we're going to try to get I'm Shy to come on here with us tonight.
Aside from this Miami thing, there was another video posted, and it said finally a UFO caught in 4K, and it looked like almost like a starship, like a starfish, or not a starfish, but like a snowflake type craft.
Yeah.
And it's been spotted all over, Commander. I've seen a video of this particular ship now, 3 different continents.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if anybody else has seen it. It's a 4K video. It looks like, honestly, if anybody's seen the movie Guardians from the Galaxy and those starfighter ships, it looks like a star. It looks like a star. It looks like a star, and it looks like a starfighter. And this craft is just hovering, and they've got beautiful videos of it. All different angles, all different countries.
Interesting. And how recent are these videos? Are these videos, James, are these videos recent in the last month or so, or what are we talking about?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Just recently, within the past 2 weeks.
Interesting. In the last 2 weeks. See, there's things going on here that are beyond our control. Like I said, I got confirmation last night from Godico, and I asked directly. Someone said, I had a few people say, ask him the question about Miami. He said yes. He said that there was something that went on. And I'm really, the only thing I question is all the TikTok sensational videos that are being published out here. Other than, if I put all that aside and just look at this from an event of a being that came through some Stargate or something, these kids plugged in something, they didn't know what they were doing. Maybe these kids were geniuses. Who knows? Whatever it was,
right?
They opened up a Stargate. A space being came through, maybe more than one, and that's what precipitated people freaking out. And that's why all the police came. Now, there could have been other stuff going on initially with kids, but obviously I've never seen a presence that strong of that many police cars from different counties at one mall. And when you look at, there was like maybe 1 or 2 pieces of ground footage that show the police cars, but that was only there for like a split second on a video I saw. That video, whatever that person was videotaping, you think they would have tried to get closer to where the activity was, but there was nothing close enough where you can see an actual space person or being walking, and then you have all these other TikTok people creating their own images from the internet of pictures of what they think the ET looks like, which are not true. That's another thing. Misinformation, disinformation. not having the knowledge of understanding of what you're looking at. And just because they want to create a TikTok video and show this is what the being look like, this is what they look like, but they don't even know.
Crazy reality says it's the Epstein stuff. If that's what you're into, then I really suggest you listen to my podcast episode that's coming out tomorrow. But we don't talk about that stuff here.
We don't talk about Epstein. This is strictly UFO, ET.
Yeah,
disclosure
you can listen
related.
to my podcast.
Any of that stuff, I'm keeping anything unrelated to the show out of the show. There's other, forums for that. In terms of the ET stuff, like I said, I think it's highly
Tasha
possible.
Wants to know if are they using Project Bluebeam? Now, that's another theory that's out there. Is it hologram technology that they're testing in a social thing, as part of the, Project Bluebeam manipulation?
And let me get into that too. I've said it for the first time I came on TikTok. There is no thing called Bluebeam. There's going to be people that are going to say, Commander, yes, there is. And every time someone tells me, yes, there's a Bluebeam, I say, show me a video of an actual Bluebeam that's been leaked out of the government showing a Bluebeam.
No, it's not. No. Project Bluebeam isn't a beam. Project Bluebeam.
I know it isn't. I know it.
The psychological warfare.
It's a psychological thing. I don't believe I don't think Project Bluebeam exists. Somebody, when the internet started many moons ago, before some of you were even born, the first day it came on as an internet, somebody said, let's create this thing called Project Bluebeam. Now, I don't remember who started it or where it came from, but it's just like swamp gas. Before there was internet, real UFOs were called swamp gas.
I think the Project Bluebeam. I think the Project Bluebeam is their disinformation program.
Oh yeah, but the disinformation is the two words, project and Bluebeam. So what they do is mentally, if you say Project Bluebeam, that's all they have to have people think in their heads, Project Bluebeam. And everyone has a definitive definition of what that is, but I'm trying to educate people here on our show. Don't fall for it, because it's misinformation, disinformation. It's taking down a path of not even getting to the facts. It never will. It never leads anywhere.
I don't think that's taking away from the fact that the government agencies do plant disinformation and
they do. They absolutely
fake UFO type stuff and fake ET encounters.
Absolutely, I believe that. But Project Bluebeam is just a disinformation campaign to get people away from really being focused on what's really going on regarding extraterrestrial intelligence, galactic levels that are coming here. It's all a diversion, folks. I've said that from day one since I've been on TikTok. I'll say it again. I don't falter on the line of what I know. And it's totally, totally disinformation. There is disinformation campaigns. We know that. That's happening within the DOD. That's happening within different agencies, naval intelligence. They're all involved. There's parts of it where there are parts of it that are definitely involved in what we call disinformation campaigns. Speaking of which, that's why we're here. We're here to try to break down and weed out all the garbage to get to the truth. And on this subject with Miami, we're trying to get to the truth. You won't see me, and you're not going to see, James do it either. We're not jumping in and say, "Oh yeah, this is what it was." Now I'm
gonna say it was everything and nothing.
Right. I do
anything
believe
possible.
Something happened. In terms of not living in Miami, if I was living there and I was doing the show down there, I'd be up there with my camera, trying to sneak around, trying to see if I can get some video footage of the 10-foot tall space being. That would be the first thing I'd want to do. That's the first thing I want to do.
Right. I was thinking that all of this, at the end of the day, to me, is just a distraction from the fact that we need to ground ourselves, right ourselves, and make sure our spirits are in the right spot, because who knows what the hell is going on. And I just want to be knowing that I'm in a good spot.
Right. And it's just important to know, just to let people know you're watching Encounters, and if you support our programming, which we've been doing for over a year now, I don't even keep track of time anymore. Please show your support. We want to get up to 100,000 likes tonight. We'll get everyone tapping the thing going here. I want to take a little bit of
Tap
time
the
to
tap.
promote what I do. Also, you can Venmo me. My Cash App is on Venmo on my main page. Press the link. You can Venmo any amount you wish to do on Venmo. We appreciate it if you have the Venmo icon on your phone. Use it. Also, become a subscriber to my TikTok, and you can do that. We have 36 to 100 subscribers. I'm also going to put the um, galaxy up here. I'm pinning the galaxy here. So I encourage viewers to do the Galaxy if you do want to do it tonight. But become a TikTok supporter. You can TikTok gifts to us if you love the show, if you love the work we're doing, if you loved what we did last night. All the work that goes into bringing you the things that you're not going to get on regular national news channels or cable channels. If you support what we're doing here, we really appreciate it as you get to know my show. Become a supporter. You can do it by TikTok gifts, by my Cash App on Venmo on my main page, and also subscribing to my TikTok as well. Just wanted to get that out of the way, and we appreciate all the gifts that have come through tonight so far, but we always appreciate those from everybody out there. You're watching
Hey,
Encounters. My co-host is James tonight, coming from the great state of Florida, and we're with you here live on this Saturday night.
Commander, somebody in the chat said they had a story they wanted to share. Is
Okay.
anybody requesting to come on?
Where's
Because
that person?
we're gonna have an old school. We got to hear some new UFO alien encounters.
Absolutely, absolutely,
That's what we
and
want. We want to hear.
and
We want to hear somebody's cat getting taken by the ET again.
or some. I have my radio on the new Ratty radio I got. I have the pyramid on top of it, so I've now decided during this show I've got it set to 17:10 a.m. just in case there's communications. and
All right.
so
So who's
I'm
on the? Who's up? Who's up next?
So the question is, if you have a story to tell, and you've had an encounter, visitation, if you've video recorded any real UFO activity in your area, as long as you have 200 plus viewers, um, help me get to 1,000. Oh no, no problem, Kimberly. We're so glad we had Kimberly on because she got to 1,000, and
Yep.
so we definitely encourage people. You can now have 200 followers, and we can put you on audio. If you have 1,000 followers, we can have you on here live. Turn on your camera, and you can share your story visually with us as well. So, who would like
When
to participate with us here on Encounters tonight?
Commander, when you get to 35, when you get to 50,000 likes, I'll come on with my camera.
Okay.
So we'll get you halfway there to 100.
So, if you want to see James's
Someone
real face, we got to get to 50,000 likes tonight.
someone out there hasn't
50,000.
seen my face, and I'm sure they're
That
curious.
I'm
They're like,
sure.
this
And
this voice.
James is actually famous, but in order to see his real famous identity, we have to get to 50,000. I think we can do 50,000. Only 19.9. We're at 20,000 right now. I know we can do good, folks. I have
And
faith in
I'm
every
not
one
going
of
to
you.
come on unless somebody in the chat says, I have a story that I want to share.
That's right. And you know
In
what?
Michigan in the 70s, they were seeing
That's
a
right.
lot of spaceships.
Oh yeah, Michigan's a hot spot. That whole lake area, Becca, is a hot spot. Even right now, there's a lot of activity in the Great Lakes.
Yeah,
There's even more
in that
activity.
the northwestern mountainy area up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's some galactic portals in the Great Lakes that people don't know about. Thank you, Painter Boy, for the
Do you
roses.
know? I always thought that there was some type of. I don't know if you've ever been to the Great Lakes and up there in that
No,
area,
not
but
me.
there is
Not me.
some type of cosmic feeling when you're there. I don't know if anybody has felt it. Becca says yes in Western Michigan. Yep.
Yeah, Western Michigan. Yeah.
and there's just something about that area, and I don't know if it's the ley lines or what, but it's
Yeah.
really good. It's really good vibes.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think it's the ley lines. If one to chart the ley lines through that area between Canada and that part of north of United States, those ley lines are really distinct. And people have seen in those areas increased activity of what they call UFOs or very weird lights in the sky. And I think we have
Jessica
somebody,
Jackson says that she wants to come and share a story.
and Jessica's coming up. We got Jessica on the line here on Encounters. And Jessica, welcome to our show. I'm Commander Alan, your host. I have my co-host James here. Welcome to the show.
Hello, gentlemen. I hope you're having a good evening.
Oh
Good
yeah,
evening.
we're definitely covering every aspect of the subject, and we're glad to have you with us.
Yeah, I was waiting for, not that I don't enjoy the other content, but I was waiting for story time. That's always my favorite.
Oh, good.
Well, let's hear it. Hello, where
It's ours.
are you from?
It's ours too.
So I am from Western Massachusetts. I've lived in a few different spots. I've lived up in the Greenfield area. I've lived near Northampton, Springfield, which is more of like the city area, not, obviously near Boston. I'm currently in the Berkshires right now, so we're up in the mountains. We've got Mount Greylock. We've got a bunch of different mountains that are, high elevation. And back in Greenfield, we used to have Poet Seat Tower, so I was always a stargazer. My mother introduced us to watching, celestial events. We saw the eclipses, obviously didn't look at the sun. We knew enough not to do that.
Right,
And
right.
I saw the Northern Lights when I was young, and it was funny because the first time I saw the Northern Lights, I was like, the aliens, they're here, they're beaming us up. Because it was these bright, brilliant beams coming out of, the sky. And I was like, what is this? I didn't know that we could see the Northern Lights where we were. So it took me by surprise. I stopped at a local diner. It's actually famous. It's been on a couple different TV shows. It's in Whately. But yeah.
Lately, okay.
There was a whole crowd of people in the parking lot. Apparently they knew more than we did. So, back then it was hard to spread that type of information. If the news happened to, mention it, you would see it. But back before the
Right.
internet, it was harder to spread information. You just kind of had to know about these things. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, yeah.
the first story I remember was I was probably about 6 years old, and we lived near Mount Tom in, technically it's Hadley, Massachusetts, but it's like near Northampton.
Oh yeah, I know what that is. I'm in Connecticut, so I know where Northampton and all that is up there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love Connecticut too, but we used to live right on the mountain, and we'd look out our window and you could see like the whole mountain range. So one night, my mom's sitting there and she's smoking a cigarette out the window, trying not to smoke in the house. And she's like, Jessica, come here and look at this. And she's like, I think this is a spacecraft. She's like, look at the way it's moving. And it was moving, to the left, and then it would kind of stop. And then it was like moving to the right, and then it would kind of hover, go higher and lower. And she was like, you don't hear anything, right? And I was like, no, I don't hear anything. She's like, if that was a helicopter, you would hear that. And I remember looking out that window just like, whoa, like, what is this?
Right.
And then when I was probably about 8 or 9, I saw Fire in the Sky and what's the other one?
The movie, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, what's the other one that's the famous account?
Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind.
No, it's the other prominent alien movie.
Close Encounters is the most famous movie, the one that was done by Steven Spielberg.
And there's so many. Independence Day.
Well, this was an earlier one, like a darker one. I forget what the name of it's called, and I watch Ancient Aliens like religiously, and I really
was it E.T.?
No, it's
How about Starman? That's a famous one.
Right on the tip.
Oh, we lost her.
Oh,
she probably would go. Oh,
sorry.
hi, Tyson. Ty
Could it be?
Sanderson.
Could it have been War of the Worlds? Maybe.
No, it was an earlier movie about this guy, who had been abducted, and it was one of the most famous
Fire
stories.
in the Sky. Fire in the
Yeah, no,
Sky.
that was Travis Walton. Yeah, this was a
Okay.
different gentleman who actually lived up here in the
Oh, was it a
Northeast.
documentary?
It wasn't. It was more of an account, like
An
Fire
account.
in the Sky, but it was a little bit darker. Not that Fire in the Sky wasn't dark
Are you
enough,
talking
but it
about
was a lot
Woodley
better.
Strieber? Woodley Strieber. They had a movie made about his
It's like
his
right
whole
on the
thing.
tip of my tongue too. I just need to like look it up really quick. But
Okay,
yeah,
you've
Fire
got
in the
me.
Sky was crazy. And after, watching the accounts of, what had actually happened to him and seeing him talk about it, that was like more
Over
eerie,
Sky.
than like seeing the
Yeah.
movie. And he said a lot of the things in the movie were played up, for entertainment sake, but he said the feelings that they invoke were what it felt like in the moment and how terrifying and strange everything was. So, but there's so many different, yes, communion. Yes, that's it. I knew it
Communion.
had something to do with like
Well,
religion.
that was Woodley Strieber. Communion. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. That one, like I said, was a little darker, but I remember
You know,
watching those.
I met him, Woodley Strieber. I was very turned off by him, and this is before there was internet. I
Uh-huh.
was trying to do an interview for a radio station. He was very standoffish, and I found him to be very unfriendly.
Yeah.
Because
It's oh, go
What?
ahead.
I was going to say he could sense that you were a man from Mars and he didn't have such a good experience.
That's true.
Right. He probably, yeah.
But
Well, I never.
now these days you don't know because they're saying that the aliens aren't abducting people. It's the government that are abducting people and doing the terrible things, but
Right.
nobody really
That's right.
knows. So
Yeah. It's just one of those things. It's really weird right now. As I'm speaking, no, okay, stopped happening. For a minute, there was a voice coming. Here it's happening again. Does anyone hear that?
I don't, but I'm hearing like a break in the
I'm on mute.
silence.
No, you've been on mute. As I'm
Yeah, I'm on
speaking,
mute.
I've got my radio on 1710 AM. I've got the copper pyramid on top of it. As I'm speaking right now, I'm starting to hear something.
That's
It's
funny.
very strange. Yep.
And I'm very tuned in. I've seen things since I was young. And, you know, my last encounter that I had was actually a shared encounter, which those are the
Really?
ones you can't
Ooh, let's hear
dismiss.
that one.
So it was one evening I was in my pool because I've got a pool that's like my thing. Some people have like a game room or a car or whatever. I've got my in-ground pool. So I was hanging out, had my mother over. We were FaceTiming with my aunt who lives in Miami. And, I'd had a couple of drinks and my fiance was talking to my aunt and me and my mom were getting kind of bored with the conversation. So we're just chatting and kind of, looking at the lights in the bottom of the pool. And then all of a sudden, it looked like a large type of tadpole. It just swam right in between our feet and we're both looking at it. We look up at each other and we're like, what the F?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, it had to be either
Physical
some sort of
encounter?
alien or
Yeah.
interdimensional being
Interdimensional.
swimming in the pool.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. That's my biggest fear. Oh, no.
That would
No,
be pretty crazy.
The
no,
If they were
that's
swimming
one
in
of
the
my
they
pool,
have
biggest
out
fears.
it makes me mad because they're fear mongering because water's very powerful
yeah, it
and
is.
I don't fear my pool even if there's aliens in it. I fear the crazy stuff that's in the ocean.
I'm just as you're talking.
Hey,
I've got my radio close to the cell phone here. I'm doing something to see if anything happens here. I'm not
Yeah,
being distracted.
when I
Go
was
ahead.
younger, I used to try to contact the aliens. I'd go out, with my high-powered flashlight and shine it up into the sky, and my friends would be like, "What are you doing?" Like getting all scared.
Yeah.
I'm like, "You guys,
you
it's fine."
didn't even know it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I'm like, trust me, I'm a lot to handle. I don't think the aliens are gonna come scoop me up and hold me for very long. They'd be like,
No,
"Take her
they
back, take her back."
Well, but then you have the ETs that are friendly that would probably take you and your star family. On the other hand, that's different than being abducted. It's going to be a way different experience because I don't know who your star family is, but I'm just saying each and every person, including yourself, Jessica, has what you call a star family, so to speak.
Right, or soul group, also called.
Yeah, a soul group. Everybody
Yeah.
does that. I can't believe this is happening. I know some people don't hear what I'm hearing with my ear pods on, but I swear, as I'm speaking now, and now it's stopped. I'm going to take the radio here, right
And I
here,
don't have
this
anything
radio.
playing. I was watching On Patrol Live. It used to be Live PD.
Okay, watch this, Jessica. I have the radio here. This is the
Yeah.
radio I use for contact with
Yeah, I've
Godico.
seen.
Godico, if you're here with us, please say something. I got my radio here. Godico, if you're here with us, please say something. I'm keeping it on 1710 permanently. Godico, if you're here, please say something. I think you're here. I'm pretty sure you're here.
Yeah, my energy
Godico,
is like a tractor beam.
Godico, you here? Godico, are you here? Godico, are you here? Wait a minute. Godico, are you here? If anybody out there is watching this, are you hearing anything weird? I got the radio right close
I just heard some
to.
sort of a like whispery,
Yep,
lower voice, like whisper.
yep. Godico, are you here with us? This is Commander Alian. I'm on 1710 here. I'm right here. I'm the one who brought you forth in here. I mean, you contacted me, so I'm taking responsibility now. I'm taking responsibility here. If you're here, I want you to say something. If you're here, says yes, yes, yes,
Holy
yes,
crap.
yes, yes, yes. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I almost heard yes. That it almost sounded like yes the first time, but not very pronounced.
Godico, welcome. This is Commander Alian. I'm right here, right now, holding my radio. You're with me. This is where it happens. I have to take responsibility for this. So I'm right here. Godico.
Ask him if he likes Jessica.
Maybe he knows. Maybe
Godico.
he's visited me before.
Godico. Do you know who Jessica is? Jessica. Godico. 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 When I'm talking, how come you're talking? Can you talk separately from me so you can talk? Godico? Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it almost sounds like a whisper, but like a heavy whisper, like they're trying to kind of squeeze something out, like
He's
they may
trying to,
have not been talking for a long time. That it's what it
Yeah.
kind of sounds
So,
like.
and just with James, what you told me the other day, wow, this is crazy what's happening here. It is absolutely nuts what's going on right now.
I need to get one of those copper pyramids, by the way. You'll have to send me the link.
Yeah, I got it on Amazon. As I'm talking now, Godico, we're together here in communication. And I know people are hearing you because I feel an energy shift in my body right now that's really intense. Now, folks, I want to mention something here. Okay, that I have a protection. The Astro Command protects all of this. I asked the Astro Command to protect our friends Godico and his space people and all the people here that are here tonight. Again, I'm permanently using my radio. I decided I'm not just waiting for our special event. I've got it on here. I'll show you the copper. The copper is really powerful on the pyramid, and the copper has something to do with helping facilitate the communications. This is a copper pyramid.
I love
this thing
that.
is beautiful.
I've got some clear quartz pyramids, but no copper. That's nice.
If you want to find a copper pyramid, I got it on Amazon. I'm not a big promoter of Amazon, but this is a copper pyramid. And as I'm speaking, I can hear a shift in frequency on the voices. Now I'm going to do this here again. I'm going to bring the radio closer. I have the radio on 1710. Gatico? Gatico, this is Commander Alian. I got the radio close to my cell phone. Gatico? Can you hear me, Gatico? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm going to talk directly in here. Now, I'm not saying anything. You hear the voice? I'm not saying a thing.
Yeah, I do hear that. And you can hear it's mixed in with the static of the receiver,
Yeah.
the output. So it's not like some weirdo in the background, of your house or whatever.
We talked about this, John and I. They operate through a static frequency. When the static builds, they're able to communicate through static.
Now,
No,
have you
not
tried
640.
through like Vox or?
No, this is what we're supposed to do using the AM frequency. And we're using 1710. That's where Gatico's coming in through 1710. We're not going to any other frequency. He's finally figured out the frequency, Gatico. And as we're talking about experiences, I'm trying to ask Gatico where the planet they come from is in the star system Sirius. Gatico, where's your planet? Where's your planet, Gatico? Where's your planet? I'm trying to bring it in here. Okay, it's gotten quiet again. Wait a minute. Now it's coming through again. Here we go. Depending on how I turn the antenna on the radio, it's really weird. If you were sitting here doing what I'm doing, you'd say, well, what is this all about? It's all about static. Static, Gatico, static, right? It's all about static. It's all about static, isn't it? You use static in space. 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 I'm being repetitious here. Static in space. Static in space.
You can hear the voice too. It's just not making
static in
complete
space.
words.
Static in space. Static in space. Static in space. Gatico. 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 I'm not distracted here, but I'm actually just giving you a little brief understanding that he's trying to come through. And James, thank you for educating me the other day. I really appreciate the things you said, and I took it to heart, meditated, and I'm realizing,
saying it enough.
Because I'm the one, like you said, I'm the one who he contacted, and I'm taking the responsibility of knowing that I can create the communications right here, right now, which is what I've just done. It started happening. My ear pods are great because I can hear sound really good. So right now, everything feels normal. He's not speaking right now, but I just felt his energy coming through. I said, let me get the radio close here. And I don't have to wait for a response at all. No, it's just exactly like Guided by Answers has said, exactly. So I finally have got the confidence to realize that I have to be responsible for my communications and that I am the one that he came to through the Alexa app to communicate. And now I can hear it a little bit. Now I can hear it. See, you can hear my voice. Do you hear some? If anyone's got ear pods on or is really tuned in and listening, you can hear as I'm speaking, depending how I move, you can hear like a different sound in the voice system. And when I it's really, wow.
Copper pyramid messing with your mic.
Yeah, it could be the copper pyramid messing with my eyes. But here, see, here's I'm going to bring this up a little bit more. Gatico, 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 Gatico. We are right here, right now. I want to ask you about your planet. I want to ask you about your planet if you're with us. Only Gatico at the moment. I ask the Ashtar Command to protect this broadcast and everybody in this broadcast. Gatico, 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 Gatico. And this is what we're doing. We're just on the frequency. We're not going off frequency. I'm right on 10. I'm on 10. I'm on 10. I'm on 10. I'm on 17, 10. 10, 17, 17, 10. You can hear, right? Or you can hear without earpods. Bring the radio right up to the mic. I'm not saying a word.
Andrew, I'm going to drop for a minute and I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
I'll handle some business with the message real quick.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I didn't mute
Okay.
myself because I didn't know if the connection had something to do with it. So I
No,
hope
you're
there's
doing
no
good, Jessica.
air. It should be
No,
quiet
you're
in here, but I have an air purifier. That's about it.
Let's see if Gatico is still with us. Gatico, Commander Alion, please respond. Please respond. Please respond. Respond. Gatico, please respond. 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 It's really weird. If I use certain words, you can hear like their voice. Respond.
Yeah.
Respond. Respond.
Seems like when I
Got-
start talking, it really starts to get crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Maybe he
I've got
liked our
the
stories. He liked the fact that,
yeah.
I don't mind having visitors in my pool. Like I said,
Yeah.
as long
Oh yeah,
as,
he
long
likes
as they're
stories
here
like
to
that, I think.
enjoy.
I think he does. And wow, it's just weird, man, because I'm trying to let him speak, but he's speaking when I'm speaking too.
Right.
It's like that happens sometimes. He'll speak when I'm speaking. Gatico, you can speak and respond after I stop. This way you can speak. But my whole body is vibrating right now because I know that he's right here with me. It's like he's right here with me. There's no way I can not know that.
Yeah.
Try singing again. And if Rachel learned, we got Rachel. I want to bring Rachel up too with us, Jessica. She has these cards, and I want her to talk about those cards again. Those were pretty phenomenal. Let's see, is she in here? Rachel Learn.
Yeah, I'll have
Is
to get
Ra-
my video out to put up because I do have a video of orb that I saw. I actually saw it sitting in my car, in my mother's carport. We had an argument, so I'm like, all right, I need to step outside, have a cigarette. And I'm sitting there and I see this light through the trees, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And it kind of
Yeah,
sat there. And these mountains, are a little bit high. So I was like, this looks like it's in the woods. So I backed
yeah.
up my perspective and come to find out it was up in the sky, and it was one of those orbs that changes the multicolors and moves all
Ah,
over the
wow,
sky,
very
left,
cool.
right. It was out there for, oh god, it was probably like a half hour, and we recorded it for maybe like 20 minutes altogether, and then it just
Really,
finally
20 minutes.
dropped beyond the horizon. Oh yeah, it was probably out there for a good hour in
And
total.
when did you record it? Like, what year was that?
This was probably, I'd say 10 years ago.
Oh, do you still have the recording?
I do have the recording, yep. I just don't have it
Uh,
posted right
oh,
now.
no problem. If you do have it, I'd like to see it. It'd be kind of interesting to watch the recording that you
Yeah,
have.
definitely. I wish I was more skilled back then because I actually am a professional photographer now. So if I
Oh, okay.
had known, I would have, had it in where
Yeah.
you could see the horizon and everything like that. But you can still see that it's moving across the sky. So.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
And we always saw tons of stuff in the airspace around Hatfield, Northampton, Massachusetts. Westover is
Yeah.
not too far from there. So,
Oh, yeah. Westover. I've heard there've been a lot of UFO sightings over the years near Westover.
yeah, right in that area is a big hot spot. And up here, I've seen some stuff too. So, just weird things flying across the sky. And you can tell when it's not normal,
Yeah.
if it's
No,
making
it's
right angles or like reversing direction. Like, that's not normal.
yeah. No, it's definitely not. It's just one of those things. As I'm talking, I'm being distracted a little bit. I don't mean to be distracted, but I keep hearing the voice coming through here, and it's distracting me. Like as I'm talking, this
Hmm.
wasn't happening earlier on the show. It was just completely clear. But now all of a sudden, whenever the contact's starting to happen, I hear a distraction of other audio coming through, and I'm just talking to you. I'm focused on you as the person I'm talking to. It's actually Deborah. It's Gekko, Gotico, Gekko. Someone's asking me what his name is. You know. Wait a minute. Oh, some really weird stuff is happening here.
I'm assuming you have heard of Bashar.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
As you're talking and I'm talking, I'm hearing other weird things happening on the program, audio wise, and I'm just like laser focused. It's crazy.
They like
It's for
control.
Arlene saying spell his name. His name is actually Gekko, so it'd be Gotico. That's basically the spelling of the name. And as I'm talking to you, Jessica, I keep hearing like this voice, like another voice trying to speak, but it's doing it at the same time I am speaking, which is kind of distracting a little bit. But I am laser focused on you on encounters here.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard many voices coming from
Yes.
many different types of, apparatuses in the past. And I hear voices all the time. I hear
Yeah.
someone talking. I look over at my fiance. I'm like, was that you? Or I'll be like, what was that? And he'll be like, I didn't say anything. And I'm like, I heard a voice. So who said
Yeah.
it?
But whether I'm pronouncing it right, it's Gekko is the way it's spelled. Now I'm saying it could be you can pronounce it Getco. I keep saying Gotico for some reason, but Getco, Gekko, which is in terms of the pronunciation, I might be messing that up a bit. Excuse me. I just had to catch an apple cider here. Oh man, don't want to lose the voice. Not on the show
Yeah.
here anyway.
I've got
Um,
terrible allergies this winter. It's not cool.
oh yeah, I'm getting hit with those earth-based allergies too a little bit, and I've been really doing pretty good for the most part here
Are
on
you
my
getting any
show. And
snow down there yet?
a little bit of snow tonight, but not a whole lot. I'm hoping maybe by morning 3 or 4 inches, and that's it.
Yeah, we really haven't had much. I can't complain. It would have been nice to have some on Christmas, but now that's passed, so we don't need snow now.
Mm-hmm. So people want us to together. We can probably focus on this. Oh yeah, I've got that too, Stella Bella. Thank you so much. So with Gotico, again, if I bring the radio, I don't even have the radio near here. I have the radio right behind me, but I turned the volume up here for a minute. I'm going to do some experimentations here. I have a 23 volume set. It's really weird. Just listen to the radio. Listen to this. For anything besides the static?
Yeah, Renee,
That
the breathy.
Now I'm not saying a word. Okay, wait a minute. I'll bring Chris up in just a second. Hold on a minute. Whoa.
Seems like it's ramped up since I picked up my little witch cat crystal.
Yes, so I'm going to bring Chris up for 2 or 3 minutes. He says he has some crystals.
My entire house
Well,
is full of crystals. I've like got hundreds of pounds of crystals here, so.
oh, wow, weird things are happening here. So we'll bring Chris up here for a few minutes
Yeah,
to
everyone grab
Chris
your
J. Beal, I think it
multivitamin
is. Yeah,
crystal.
Chris J. Beal. Hey, Chris, good evening. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Right now, I have weird things happening, and we're glad to have you on, Chris.
Yeah, I'm glad you have me on. I've got a really amazing display of artifacts on the table here, and I have a pyramid stone that was found here also. I'm going to pull it
Okay,
up. Just give me a second.
and as weird things are happening, we'll take a few minutes to look at that. And as
Okay.
we keep having
Now we have
things
some
flow,
amazing artifacts here. I don't know if you want me to put me on the big screen, but we have some spearheads from the giants.
oh, those are pretty cool.
Face ones. Look at the crystal in that, right?
That's nice.
That's an eye of this big giant spearhead.
Wow.
Just got this one the other day. All these artifacts came since Christmas Eve. I've got permission to be on the property. And this one here, it's kind of hard to see, but it's a pyramid.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute.
That's
Hold on a second.
It's crystal.
Did you just hear that noise? I swear to God, I just heard a. Did anyone just hear that, or am I just losing it?
Very powerful here. There's
Chris,
three
did you
burial
just hear that?
mounds.
Chris, did you just hear that sound as you were talking?
I heard a little something.
I know you're not hearing it. I'm telling you, it was pretty strong. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, so these are amazing artifacts that have been found on the edge of one of the burial mounds. There's 3 burial mounds that I found. They're cave burial mounds from these ancient people that lived here in Roxbury that the United States of America, I believe, was founded on. But that's my theory. Leave it for there. But there's a lot of artifacts, and these were specially piled up in a special area. I mean, these are amazing. Look at these spearheads. Look how big they are. Look how beautiful they are. They're out of this special sedimentary crystal material. This is all like this really fine crystal quartz. And then we have these guys. This is some sort of ancient cement, some crazy epoxy type stuff. And then they made these heads. This one here was washed. This one here was not washed because this one here is going to go for testing, hopefully. And it has an elephant on it, which is pretty amazing. And then we have quite a few other artifacts. We have a piece of, this is a piece of bone that was found in with the artifacts. It's in a bag. It's just like maybe a cow bone. But I have something else here. I have this is an ancient steel spearhead. And I got, someone sent me a message today from the Eagles and the Condors, and they said it's African-like. And here it is. It's in the bag. So it's pretty amazing. These are really amazing artifacts because this is like one of the best stashes I've found so far. This is an ancient steel spearhead. Okay.
That's cool.
Pretty wild, right?
Definitely tell it's old.
Yeah, that's how you can tell. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to turn my volume up. Sorry, I couldn't hear too good. But this is a steel one that was found with these other artifacts, which is really amazing. I mean, they're just. I've got 9,000 pounds of these now.
Now, what area are you in?
I'm 30 miles west of New York City, and now this is the most amazing thing. In 1930, the U.S. government took aerial pictures of every square inch of New Jersey cloud-free, and they pieced them all together perfectly. All of northern New Jersey, all the lakes are all in the form of faces, Egyptian dogs, Egyptian heads, and ley lines that you can see from space, just like in Peru.
Can you see it when you go on Google Earth?
Yep, just go to the 1930 New Jersey 1930 aerials. There's 2 different websites. One lets you turn the map and zoom in and move all around, and another one gives you a stationary map. It's the most amazing thing when you look at these maps and you look at these lakes. There's even like a witch on a broom. There's a finger lake with a man holding a really long like alien finger up. There's a dog's face. There's a pyramid lake. There's a diamond. There's a Egyptian dog, a woman's dog, glasses. I mean, you name it, it's there.
Wow.
It's really amazing. So
thank you, Tess.
This is all, and where I got these artifacts is in Roxbury Township, New Jersey, that was founded on December 24th, 1740. Because I was inside of the King's Treasure Vault that they converted in 1825 to put the Mars Canal right through it and turned it into the water storage turbine tank. It's truly amazing. It has a a vaulted ceiling on the north side, a vaulted ceiling on the south side, and it has an opening in the middle coming down for the light. And it's east to west, north to south, facing, with a 150-foot tunnel going into it.
Wow. All right. And
Yeah,
as
there's a
weird
lot
things,
here. So I
as you're
appreciate you
speaking,
having me on.
yeah,
And,
definitely.
Look at these monkey artifacts. This is a little baby one, a piece of crystal that cut into like a monkey face. There's a lot of monkey faces, a lot of monkey stuff. These are just a few here. And then there's this ancient cements. They made these ancient cements with this. They had epoxies. I don't have the epoxy on the table here, but there's these crazy, like I said, they had epoxies. They had advanced technologies like you would not believe. This was found with a stash in a special place on the wall where I found the artifacts, and then this was placed in a special stash pile too under a big giant boulder.
There's weird things happening here.
Yeah, we actually have a location up here
Wait
in
a
Western
minute.
Massachusetts where they supposedly
This is a
uncovered
beautiful.
giants.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of giant stuff here, I'm telling you. This is the small stuff. I only brought back the small ones. There's spearheads that are like 40 pounds.
It almost sounds
Okay.
like Morse code again.
Yeah, well, something just weird happened. My radio just went off on itself and just turned off. I just turned it back on.
This is like a Neanderthal man's face on this one. I don't know what that. It's a spear point.
Yeah, I've been to some of the stone chambers, all sorts of different. I haven't been to America's Stonehenge yet. I still want to get there.
Yeah, in Connecticut, there's a place by you, Commander, in the Connecticut
Yeah.
area, an area where there's big boulders and stuff where the Indians live, the American Indians. So
Oh yeah, we have a lot
what I
of strange
discovered-
stuff up here. Thank you, Racy.
What I discovered
Well, you-
is wherever the American Indians lived is where the ancient civilizations lived before. So if you can find out where the American Indians lived, then you can find out where the ancient civilization, because everybody kind of reused the ancient civilization before them. They just continued to build above it because they had all the stones already. If you had a giant stone, why would you go out and cut a stone if you can just cut one down, right?
All right. Hey, Chris, I thank you.
Oh, have you heard
Thank
of
you,
Balance
Chris.
Rock before? It's up here in Lanesboro.
Balance Rock I've been to. I know there's a
nice.
Balance Rock there's a Balance Rock in New York that is where a lot of ET activity happened across the border from Connecticut. I've been there, and that place back in the 70s and 80s, people had encounters with ETs at this thing called Balance Rock. It's in New York State across the border.
Yep, I've heard of that one before. This one's even bigger, and it's just so strange how such a large rock is just perched on another smaller rock. You know, there's other rocks around, but not loose rock.
We have that too.
So
It's
so
called
weird.
Tripod Rock. It's in Lake Valhalla. And Lake Valhalla is in Morris County. It's where these lakes were all formed by the ancient people.
Excuse me.
In northern New Jersey, they did a lot of these lakes. The lake that's called Upper Greenwood Lake, it's a dragon on the 1930 aerial picture.
Nice.
Pretty amazing. It's really amazing what they did to these lakes back in the day. So,
All right.
thank
I
you for
appreciate
having me
you
on,
giving us.
Commander,
Oh, thanks for giving us some anthropology. I can't even speak.
And
You know what I mean.
remember, Commander, a lot of this stuff is connected to the aliens because this stuff is alien. I have some stuff that's like, how did they cut this? You can't cut this with,
Excuse me.
alien technology.
Right.
You know, there's some of these stones are so precisely cut. It's like they didn't cut them.
Oh, let me.
And I have other ones, and then you have these crystal ones that are just absolutely beautiful pyrite, pure pyrite crystal heads that are amazing. So,
All right.
all right.
Hey,
Well,
Chris,
thank you,
thanks so much, brother.
all right.
And I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. That was Chris, and he has a great deal of knowledge about the ancient rock structures on our planet. And my radio had gone off before. I just turned it back on. And just in case Gatico's here, Gatico, we're on 1710 on Encounters. We're doing our show here. Hey, Chris, thank you very much. And I'm going to use the radio every night. I'm going to have the radio here in case Gatico wants to come on and say something. He will be here. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm coughing a lot now. But I am still here. We'll be here till about 12:30. Wait a minute. Maybe here it happens now. Now,
I
does
came
anybody hear
back.
that? Okay, I swear this is happening right now. Does anybody hear another voice?
I heard like a tinny like ringing. It got really loud and
Yeah, so I'm not really saying a whole lot. Let me see here. Oh yeah, there it is. You hear that? Like breathing?
yeah, it's almost like kind of clearing your throat, trying to,
I'm moving the antenna in different directions of the sky inside here. Gotta go. 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 It's your friend, Commander Allian speaking. Gotta go, please respond. Oh, Jessica, mute your mic for a minute. I want to see what happens.
Okay.
Just for a minute. Gotta go. 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 Can you hear me? Gotta go. I'm going to bring the volume up higher. Wait a minute. I'm up to 25%. Gotta go. Can you hear me? Gotta go. Gotta go. Can you hear me? Gotta go. Gotta go. This is Commander Allian. Gotta go. Gotta go. All right. Enough of that. Enough of that for the moment. I'm putting the pyramid back up where it was. And you're watching Encounters. I'm Commander Allian. We've had some interesting stuff here. Some people said they heard Godico, and it's weird. When other people are hearing him, I'm not hearing him. So it's kind of weird that way. Let me... Wow, we got a lot of people that want to get in here. We're going to get my co-host back in here. I got to get some water, I think, in just a moment. I'm going to turn the volume down. Wait a minute. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit. Too high up. Okay, we have
Hello.
James back with us. Hey, James.
When the aliens you up into their spacecraft, where did they touch you? Oh, Jessica's got to call her mom back. Oh, man, I was going to say, we got to get back to Jessica. I wanted to hear her stories, but we can get back to that another night.
And Rachel learned, if you're there, come back on. Well, I want to find out where you got the card deck. She was on last night about the card deck, which was phenomenal, and I'm trying to figure out where she got that, what the name of the company is that publishes it. I think everybody would love that. I'm not much into card decks, but that one was so galactically beautiful Even I wanted one of them just to have around here. James, I'm gonna let you talk for a minute while I get some water or some more tea or something. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm trying to bring Commander back. Oh God, that's funny. Oh, we're trying to. Hey, Will, how you been? Will, I don't have any control over the box. I don't even have like moderator stuff, and I don't want it. I don't want none of that power. We'll let Commander and the mods handle all of that.
Hi,
Commander
I'm Commander
is
number two.
back.
Commander number one took a break. I'm Commander number two. Want to introduce I'm his twin brother, Commander number two. And James, you've met me before, correct?
I don't know which commander we're talking about.
Commander number two, the one that went like this.
Commander number two from
Number
Mother
two.
Russia.
Let me get Commander number one back on here.
Ah,
Hey,
yes.
James,
Bring back Commander one. Maybe we try. Maybe we try Commander three.
This is Commander number one. I just got the other commander to just stay away from the show for a little bit because I wanted to be the one on here. I don't want to confuse anybody. Now I'm really confusing people. We're just joking around. There's no Commander number two. There's not a duplicate twin of me. There's not a Commander number two that looks like me. If there was a Commander number two that looks like me, he would be my twin brother. But don't get confused, folks.
Commander number two.
Commander number two was just visiting. I'm the commander.
That's an intense crap.
Do not get confused, I mean, I can probably confuse people pretty good, but I don't want to do that.
Next time I'm having stomach problems, I'm going to scream to the house, I'm going to take a Commander number two.
Oh, Rachel learned. Yeah, okay. Hey, Rachel. Okay, we got to get Rachel on because Rachel, that whole card deck thing. Rachel, hey, I'm glad you're on here. I want to get that card deck information. I got some friends that run a crystal shop, that would be something they would want to carry in the store.
Okay, I'll take and turn on my camera so you can see. I'm not sure. It just says Kyle Gray. But I'll turn on my thing and you guys can take snapshots of it if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to get a pen here and write down the name of the thing. Hold on, I'll be right back. And James is here. People, you're going to love this deck. This card deck fits right in with the format of the show. You're going to love it. Yeah, but I want to see it again. It's so good.
I want to see it again, but he's acting like I wasn't here in the room with you.
No, I know you saw the deck. You were here, but a lot of people weren't able to see it that were watching the show. So we're going to bring him back.
Divine Masters. The Divine Masters. Kyle Gray. That's the information that Commander needs there. It's a Kyle Gray deck. Artwork by Jennifer. Look at these old eyes. I can't read.
Let me see.
I think if he just gets the Kyle Gray. I am no Jedi.
Yes, you are.
Caleb, I am no Jedi.
Okay, so Kyle Gray is the author? Kyle Gray. Okay, I'll remember that.
Kyle Gray.
Okay, Kyle Gray.
These cards aren't going to help facilitate contact. These cards are just cool. We're sharing them.
They're not there for contact. They're just cool because I love the artwork of the photos. And again, I'm not into.
Was cool.
But it is a really cool card deck for the pictures. There's a lot of the people, Commander Ashtar.
And there's the Commander really Ashtar card.
Yeah, that was the first card you pulled out.
Yeah, it was the first one in the box. Yep.
We love it. Oh, you can buy it at Walmart too. Oh, cool. But people at Walmart don't know anything about metaphysics. So my friends have a really cool light shop, crystal shop here in where I live, and they're looking for things to bring in. So I think this card deck would be kind of cool for them to have. So I'm going to mention it to them probably tomorrow. Yeah, it's an amazing deck. I think it's really amazing too. I just got turned on to it by Rachel. I'm really excited about it. So for you who have not seen this is really, who are not into card decks. I'm not one of those people either. This would be one that just for the photos alone, I would love the photos. They're just beautiful. Very cool. Saint Germain. Yeah, I'll support my local crystal store. I will not support buying this at Walmart if they have it. Yeah, the photos are what got me on this whole thing, Look at the photos. They're beautiful, folks. And please, we want to get,
Yeah, somebody took a lot of care with those arts.
We're at 12:30, and we haven't gotten up to 100,000 likes. We have 204 people in here. That's okay. But while we're watching this, please tap the button, everybody. If everyone taps the button and can get us up to 100,000 likes tonight, that's great. If we don't get there, that's fine too. But if we can, that would be great too. We appreciate it.
James Rockefeller says, so you're like David Eckhart. No, David Eckhart is a friend of the show for sure, but David is in his spiritual mindset is in a place of negativity right now. He's got a lot of fear-based stuff around him. Yeah. So we're praying for him. Yeah, the Commander Ashtar card.
Jessica says, I also have a crystal shop. Hey, Jessica, you want to get that in your shop? That'd be pretty cool.
You guys need to support Jessica Jackson's crystal shop.
Yeah, I didn't know she had a crystal shop.
For all your crystal needs, all your spiritual guidance needs. Special appearance by Commander Alion happening soon.
Yes. I will come up to Massachusetts.
Actually, it's only a few hours.
My workshops I've done mostly in Connecticut and New York State, up in Woodstock, New York.
She's working on the website.
Oh, good.
Which one is that? I like that one. Look at that.
That's the Divine Director. I love the photos. The photos are really what is the most beautiful aspects of each one of these cards. And as you look at the cards, I'm sure the Buddha, we love the Buddha. Who doesn't love the Buddha? Then we have,
I like that they depicted Buddha in the way that
and you know what? Her name is Bridget. My daughter's name is Bridget too.
Spelt the same way?
Different.
Different way. The Blue Beings. We know who they are.
Yes. These photos can just totally activate you. I'm sure some people are, yeah, I've heard of that one too. Oh, the Ascended Masters and the Atlanteans.
Well, there's your one, the Atlanteans.
Ah, cool, Jake. Jake says, I have light code cards. Beautiful. Mother Mary. Now, Mother Mary, believe it or not, outside of religious institutions, she came from the stars. She's a star being.
Oh, wow. That's nice. That's really cool. How they put that together.
Mm-hmm.
Stella Bella says, I want to buy apophyllite crystals.
I
Wherever
like
you
the
are,
mixture.
Stella Bella, look at some good crystal shops in your area and just find out if they have apophyllite. They're really
Rachel,
good
that one
crystals,
looks
very high
like from
frequency.
Avatar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Very powerful.
I love how they're mixed.
Oh, go to Jessica Jackson. She's got the apophyllite. Connect with Jessica Jackson, folks, if you want apophyllite. She's got a ton of it, she says.
Michael and Faith. Is that the angel Michael?
Mm,
I don't know if that
spiritual
is.
calling.
You have one that is Archangel Michael is one of your cards, I think you said you had.
Yeah, somewhere. I think Joan of
Oh,
Arc.
wow, Joan of Arc.
And she was really young too. She
Yeah.
wasn't.
Hey, James. I'm saying hello to the other
Yeah,
James.
she
Hey,
had
James,
an
Lady Nada.
intelligence and a maturity for her age, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the name of that being is Paul Venetian. Gifted one.
From Venus.
And that one is...
Or is that Venusian?
Lady Portia.
Lady Portia.
Portia, that's right. I keep saying Portia.
Overcoming limitations.
Yeah, I think Jay Perry, I think they are. That one is weird.
Whoa.
That one is Kali Ma, divine. Yeah, she's a weird one.
Remember the Kali Ma?
Yeah.
She's not one of my favorite cards, but all the other cards are.
That's not my favorite either, Commander.
Yeah, the Kali Ma I don't care for.
I thought that was very weird.
It was weird. I know whoever created the deck, you could have kept her out of there.
Right.
And when you got the deck, you can throw Kali Ma out. You don't need to keep it.
Yeah. But yeah, when I got the whole deck, this was the first one on the deck, and I started going through it when I got it at the house, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the first one. And I start going through it,
Yeah.
and I said, I gotta show this to Commander. I said he's gonna.
Okay, one of my viewers said their phone just drained. Well, maybe there's something wrong with the phone. I don't know. It's weird things happen on this show. So, but yeah, that's the first picture Rachel showed me was Astron, the card deck.
Yep. And, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
And then I got a let's see, I got another little one. Let me see. Hold on a second.
Your cards will be a good deck addition to the Empire's records.
And James, we have to keep James under control because he joined the Empire, and I'm trying to get him to come back to the light.
We will squash the rebellion and keep the incursion low. I was trying to read when I started talking. I wanted to read what she was writing. I'll read what she had up there. What is Star Wars crystal?
Where's that?
I'm a Star Trek fan too.
Oh, look at those. And what deck is that? That's interesting. Mystical Shaman, Pocket of... Interesting.
Pocket Oracle.
For me, pictures are like cosmically...
would show up out here.
These are little.
I'm going to just, as you're speaking, as we're listening and looking, I'm bringing the radio up one more time in case anything weird happens.
Commander.
Was that you, James, coming through my radio, James?
Commander.
Is that you, James, changing your voice on 1710 AM from Florida? Wow, you're famous. You're a famous dude. James, I think you're lagging.
Definitely.
This is just a static. Every once in a while, we're doing this here.
No Starshine. No Jar Jar. I can do a good Chewbacca though.
Oh my God, my daughter does that.
You want to hear the worst prank ever, Commander? I know this
Yeah.
has nothing to do with encounters, but it's a funny story. This lady, this guy and this girl were in a relationship and they broke up. And the guy put these signs around the college and it said, "Do your best Chewbacca impression and call this number to win $100." So this poor lady was getting phone calls all time of the day, all around the day, voicemails of people leaving their best Chewbacca impersonations.
That's funny. Did you do it?
No, somebody wants to hear Chewbacca. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Muster up a Chewbacca.
And we also have
we got Jessica back.
Jessica back in with us.
Hello.
Hey, Jessica. I didn't even know you had a crystal shop.
Yeah, it's something I've had for a while, and I was doing it with COVID. But the only thing that's stopping me from buying a domain is I can't think of a good name. I'm terrible at those type of decisions. So
Now, do you have like a physical store, or are you looking to have a physical store? Because that probably would be pretty cool if you can do it.
yeah, I'd like to. I also am a photographer and hairdresser. Ideally, I'd like to have like a full service studio with just little crystal displays everywhere. You know, that would be my dream. But with the economy as unstable as it is, and the rent, you know, for most of
Yeah.
the shops that are, you know, in my town are crazy. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, you know, you can
You know,
always
Jessica,
build a little shop in your country town in front of your house.
well, that's the thing.
Jessica's gemstones.
Yeah. I've gone over so many names. I've gone to AI to try to help me with names. I'm just never satisfied. You know,
Yeah.
I love rock and roll music. My mom's like, dude, Jessica rocks. And I'm like, no, it's just too corny.
Yeah.
I love everyone for the help, but I'm like, oh, I just can't.
You know what?
I just
you
need to
could
do it.
You're catering to the spiritual community. The spiritual community is all about corny.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
You know, you could do Spacey Jessica's stones and crystals.
yeah, I wanted something to do with the water because I
Water?
love like the ocean and everything. Obviously, I'm a little further than I would prefer, but I vacation down in Old Lyme. I love it down there.
Oh, cool. You'll come up with something.
Yeah, I have a couple ideas. I just have to make sure it's something that isn't associated with like some sort of resort because that's what I keep finding. Everything's like some
Okay.
tropical resort, and I'm like, okay, I need something that's not taken.
There you go. There you go. And you're watching Encounters, folks, the late night show. We're here before 1 o'clock. We'll be going for another 5 or 10 minutes. And we have the whole gang here. Down the rabbit hole, Rachel Learned is here. Jessica Jackson's here. Commander Aliana's here.
Yeah,
and
I
our
also-
space friends are listening.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I also channel, so I think that's one of the reasons it's easily, you know, like I see more things that most people wouldn't see. So, you
Yeah.
know, I'll just be looking up in the sky and I'll see something. It's like something tells me to look up there, you know, and like I said, that night in the pool where I saw, you know, what looked like, you know, it was a cross between like a fish and a tadpole because it didn't have a lot of extremities, but it moved very fluidly through the water. You know, it was very quick, but it wasn't fast enough to where I couldn't get a good look at it. So, and like I said, me and my mom explained the same thing to each other, and we were just like, you know, holy crap.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't mind sharing my pool with the aliens. They don't bother me. So,
Yeah. And like I said, you if you connect with your star family, which you can, it's a very different vibrational frequency. So when you start looking at that aspect of who you are, you'll be able to eventually make that contact. You're in an area, especially with a crystal shop,
Yeah.
If you use apophyllite and you use selenite and you use amethyst, in like if you have a meditation room, those are the things are the very high frequency crystals. You can end up through meditation saying, as a Christed being of light, I only want to communicate with Christed beings of light. And if you do that,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
taught people in my workshops, as you know, because you're not like just starting out, you get crystals. You can use certain crystals that'll amp up the frequency in a room, and you can make physical contact with your star family, whether the Venusians, whether
Mhm.
from the star system Sirius, whether they're Andromedans, what have you, wherever they're from, you can start linking in on their frequency and
Commander,
communicate with them. Yes.
I just got a message back from Scott Shy, and you're never gonna believe this. So I straight up asked her, what was going on in Miami?
Right.
What was were you down there? Anything? She only messaged me back one thing. And if Grace, I don't know if Grace is in the chat, but this is
Grace
gonna
is in
blow
here.
her mind.
Okay.
But me and Grace were talking about this earlier. Shy just said, just remember, stranger things happen in a mall.
Ha,
The movie,
Stranger
the
Things.
movie Stranger
Oh
Things.
Stranger
yeah.
Things. Yep.
She
Mhm.
said it happened in a mall, and that's all she wrote. All she wrote was "Stranger Things happened in a mall."
So what she's saying is she's giving us information in a very short worded situation that yes, they came through in a mall. That's what she's saying.
Wow,
Are you getting that,
that's I don't
James?
know. I don't know
Is
what to
that
think about that.
Mm-hmm.
well? That I think she's encoding a message to you that yes, this did happen, and they came through in a mall.
Well, did you see the gentleman that was the younger gentleman that called his dad? And I don't know
Yes, Rachel, I looked it
yeah,
up.
Yeah,
That guy really is a
yeah,
sheriff, and he really is running
yes,
for sheriff.
yes.
yeah,
And his dad goes, and he kept telling his son, we cannot talk about it. We cannot
right.
talk about it. I'm telling you, son, we cannot talk about this.
And the different things between Stranger Things, which is a Hollywood series, I remember watching it, is that we're talking about a space being coming through a portal that these kids opened up, a Stargate, and he physically was about 9 or 10 feet tall, according to
Or
witnesses.
maybe it wasn't a space being. Maybe it was something totally different.
No, people were saying it looked like a tall space person.
Well, from
That's
what
what
I
the witnesses
understand,
were.
there was more than one.
There was more than one of them. Like so
Yeah.
now one report says, and this I don't know, that there were 80 of them that came through the Stargate. 80? I don't know about that, but I do know that obviously what Amshai is giving you is encoded information saying yes, that's true. Were you getting
Yeah.
that? I mean, that's what I'm getting from her message. What are you getting?
It's kind of freaky because she never writes me in code. She never writes me in code.
Well, with her position now as high as it is, she probably has to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys
It's
see
not.
over
It's
the
not really.
mall too as well? Did you guys see that too? Because I noticed in one of the
Yeah.
videos of someone filming outside that there was like two bright lights above the mall as well.
Really, I didn't see that,
Yeah.
but I do know that I once. I don't think it's freaky. I think it's that some Stargate was opened up. Number one, and that these space beings came through it, and these kids, whatever they were doing, whether they knew what they were doing or not, it's pretty weird what they were doing. You know, whoever goes into a mall and say, "Let's do this, plug this in, and see what happens." Now, do you know any kids that go in a mall and do that anywhere in the U.S., anywhere in the world?
Well, you
Anybody?
know what, Commander? This is why I always say that sometimes knowledge is a good thing and a bad thing. And just think about it. The same way that somebody like John Connor has access to technologies and stuff. Imagine a group of 4 kids that are going to like IMG Academy
Right.
in Miami, and they've got pre-calc, they engineering degrees and stuff like that, and kids
Right.
are kids are way far advanced technically these days than we even like to admit. And I could just imagine some kids tinkering, portal technology, all types of crazy stuff. You never know. You never freaking know these days.
Yeah.
No.
That's true. The education system has failed some of them, but not all of them.
No,
Right.
but it's just pretty weird. Yeah, Deborah, the radio static was I turned the radio off for the night behind me, so I just turned that off. But yeah, the thing is that I really do believe that again, what Amchai is saying is, which is not really freaky, is that she's admitting in its very limited terms that yes, that it's too bad she couldn't put into a full sentence and say, oh, by the way, I want to talk about this, and yes, this is what we were getting at the DoD regarding this. I'm sure the DoD knows a lot about this.
She also didn't send me that message on TikTok. She sent it to me through another platform that we use, and we don't really use it often.
Right. I think I know which platform that is.
Yeah.
She has to be careful.
A family member in Miami, and I tried to get her take on things, but she refuses to use TikTok. So I'm like, well, you're not seeing much of this information. There's been a couple things on Facebook, but I really don't go to Facebook anymore because anything you find on Facebook is typically originated at, this platform. So
yeah, and there's a lot of censorship on. I have my Ashtar groups on Facebook, and they're really very active, so that keeps me on Facebook for that. But in terms of anything else, I'm pretty much my YouTube channel for the show. I transfer all my shows on YouTube, and Ashtar Spaceship News is on there. And then, of course, I've been on here for over a year with my Encounter show, and I do radio at WESU NPR Radio in Middletown, Connecticut, every Sunday morning. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm not going anywhere. I'm in New England, and I'm staying home because of the weather, so we'll have a pre-recorded automation show on instead of a live person.
So, what is your name on
Commander's throwbacks?
What is your name on Facebook, Commander?
Commander Alion.
Okay.
Yep. And we have, I think it's like over 4,000 or 5,000 members in our Ashtar Command group there. I have a C5 group on Facebook. And then, of course, I'm very active here on TikTok with my show on a pretty much a regular basis.
Commander Alion has a little show on TikTok. It's just the number one UFO talk show on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, John Connor just.
Many other people talking about it. So.
Is John Connor in here? Did you say? Is John here?
No. He just went poof.
Oh, that's really weird, man.
Definitely going on in Miami, and I need to call her tomorrow and be like, okay, what have you found out? Because we came from a background of law enforcement, and she did legal aid in her younger years, but then she ended up having some trouble. Now she's in recovery. We'll put it that way. But yeah, I'm like, got to get to the bottom of this because there's no way.
Absolutely.
They send that many cops. I live near UMass Amherst, and they have a thing called Hobar Hoedown every year, and it's just a huge party. Like, the kids just party in the streets, and, they're just clogging up the entire, area. So they had a big, huge fight, and they sent riot gear and all the cops. And it was only maybe 20 cop cars at the most, and this for an entire campus of kids. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, for them to send that many cops to 4 kids playing with sticks, something bigger had to have been going on. And the fact that there's no videos or anything from all those people running from the mall, that's just insanity to me,
And as I just want to mention, we have a new person on Native Tribe 1. Welcome to Encounters. We have Jessica Jackson in Massachusetts, Rachel Learned here down Rabbit Hole, and myself, the commander, the host of the show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be joining you.
And we're glad to have you with us as first time on the show. What would you like to share with us in the subject-related areas that we're talking about? I'm
going to mute for a moment.
Okay. All right, Jessica.
I'm a Anunnaki study of and trying to take old applications and relate them to current things. So I'm
Okay.
the Matrix and basically ongoing the search for the technology that's out there now that's maybe left behind to use today.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's interesting. How long have you been doing that?
I would say about 8 years.
8 years. That's a long time. So in the 8 years of researching and studying the Anunnaki, which are part of a whole large galactic group of many different. Oh, wait a minute. My cat's coming in. I was wondering what was going on here. What's going on, baby? Wait a minute. I gotta get her on the screen.
You saw it,
folks.
man. You all saw Commander's face. He thought ET was about to walk in that door.
I gotta show everybody. She wants to come on screen. I thought you were Godico coming through. Oh, you want to get down? Here you go. Godico's really a cat. No, I'm just kidding you. But getting back to Native Tribe, so for the years that you've been involved in your studies, beyond studying the history, have you yourself had any encounters in your life like that participated, like things that happened in your life that made you get into where you are now in terms of all this interesting area?
Yeah, it's something that I say quite common right now is 10 years ago, I was your basic heavy equipment sales guy that was a beer drinking frat guy that went to a big school and all that and had the 2.3 kids. And 10 years later, just absolutely was turned on to being I'm a contactee since then, so I'm
Interesting.
I think that's I would have never really gained the interest if I was not a contactee.
Now I'm interested. Let's get into that. When you became a contactee, how did your contact happen? I always find the contactee stories interesting. There's always something there. So how did you become a contactee?
Well, first, this has happened 2 or 3 times to me. It was during a big. I started seeing visions first, and that's something that I always see, like almost like a holographic overlay of our world everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And then, but the real first time I saw them was during a big storm, and the power went out at my house, and they always seem to do this. And I saw, and this was holographic form. I wouldn't say 3D. You know, you couldn't go over and touch them kind of form.
Yeah.
Was little 3.5, 4 foot white looking characters.
Mm-hmm.
And
interesting.
They were kind of running around the windows in my yard. In fact, there's a Netflix Netflix show called David or something like that. I can't remember.
Okay.
But he had some video on that on his documentary that is the exact thing that I saw. So.
Oh, interesting. And were those encounters positive? And did you get information within the interactions you had as a contactee?
I was initially scared. Very scared.
Mm-hmm.
And then
what happened after you got through this? You know, obviously it's a human experience. Your reaction would be normal. So after you got through being mentally or physically scared, what happened? Did anything transpire after that for you?
Well, I think maybe the way they showed themselves to you is I first started seeing very vivid holographic things in public and at home, and having very vivid dreams, and then I started hearing them and having conversation with them telepathically. So it really evolved to telepathic communication that's always happening.
And how did that connection get you interested in Anunnaki, which are part of they're part of a grouping of a larger galactic grouping of many, many planetary worlds. So from that, I find it fascinating. You went from that direct experience. Did they know anything about the Anunnaki, or did they communicate to you about them, or did you do that research on your own?
I did the research on my own, and the very first thing, and almost kind of what you're saying, I kind of discounted them at first, and then went and
Yeah.
looked at every single other thing I could possibly find, and then
Right.
really kind of got mentally bullied for a while. And I bought a book that you can buy in any of the major bookstores. It's called DNA of the Gods by Professor Chris Hardy from Princeton. And in this
Okay.
book, she's compiled a lot of the Anunnaki Sumerian history, and there's a part of it that's very technical that talks about their equipment and how it works and how that is applicable. And I started realizing that what was being said to me was in part a program, and I needed to negotiate the program if I ever wanted to not be mentally bullied by it.
Yeah. Yeah. So by getting through those 8 years, you've accomplished a lot in learning about the whole subject of the Anunnaki civilization, their contact with Earth, their coming to Earth.
Well,
In that 8 years,
their equipment that's left behind, especially sky gods, is what a lot of people begin to hear. And
Yeah.
from what a lot of people, I don't know if they ever even think about it, but this is computer formatting that has enough memory to store basically anything you could ever come up with. So
Yeah.
I started programming into the matrix and creating my own matrices. So Native Tribe 1, that's like my name right here, is actually like one of the matrices I created. So I found that you
Oh,
could
good.
do a switch and switch to Native Tribe, and that's just
Mhm.
like something that I've crafted, and it's almost like a in-world overlay that people that are familiar with this kind of stuff can use.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Well, I know we're at 1 o'clock on the East Coast. Where are you located? What part of the world?
I'm in the Southeast United States.
Oh, good, good, good. Very good. Well, you're my final guest. It's around 1 o'clock. We've been on since about 10:30 or 10:45 on the East Coast, and I want to thank you for coming on for the first time. We're going to follow you. I think I'm doing that now. I hope so. Let me take a look here.
Yeah, I've
I
got
am.
quite a few videos on my teachings on matrix teachings and stuff like that. So I appreciate
Interesting.
that.
Oh, we
And
appreciate you too, man.
also
Definitely.
do updates on my Anunnaki stuff on there as well. So I've got
Yeah. No.
personally made videos on Anunnaki and matrix stuff.
Oh, good, good. It's good to have somebody who's focused on the history of that and who's studying it, laser focused, so to speak. So we appreciate you coming on here, man. It's been great to have you on Encounters, the #1 UFO spiritual talk show on social media.
My pleasure.
Good night,
All
everybody.
right,
Thank you for having me.
Rachel Learn, I'm going to go through the video after it's on my YouTube channel. I'm going to write down Kyle's name. His name is, the writer of that book is Kyle. What's his name? Kyle.
Let me see.
The one that
I know. Yeah.
the one that I was mentioning.
No, not what you were doing. She has a
Gray.
book that
Sorry.
it's
G.
Kyle Gray.
Gray.
Okay, Kyle Gray. I'll look that up after I get off. But the photos alone, Native, are beautiful. It's a book of cards, but has Ashtar, all these ascended masters. The only one I don't like is the Kali Ma, but I'm going to pull that out of the deck when I get it, and all the other photos are great. All right, hey, thank everybody for being here. I'm trying to see who's trying to come up. Oh, John Connors. Wait a minute. We're going to bring John up here. Is John there? There is. And hey, a Native Tribe, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you sharing about the Anunnaki.
Hey, Native, where's the suit that you're wearing? Where does this come from?
Oh, Native, you there? Hello, Native.
Yeah, I'm
The
sorry.
suit. The picture of the suit, where's it come from? My friend John wants to know.
Oh, that's something where I did a search on Anunnaki, and I do like deep character searches on that because I find that they use, the idea to me that they're gone is not. I'm not sure that they're as much gone as their equipment's still here and usable, and that's what the people have gotten the call, the Matrix. So I did a search on on Anunnaki Matrix, I believe, and found this picture. Thank you for having me.
Interesting.
Okay, so the binary 0002 and the tyranny of 1003 and the synonary of 4006 class octal 2008 and the quo duo decimal is double decimal and the hexadecimal of 8016 and Venema. Venema, you know what that is?
Negative. Please tell us.
Well, it's the binary and tyranny is a thing that you posted on your profile. So do you know Anunnaki is just a name for 15 different races and multiply in one?
Correct. In fact, my contact comes from Mintaka Orion, which is Anunnaki as well.
Okay. All right. Did he give you a
It's a couple of females.
okay. Did you get a galactical number, badge number, state number of the state, like what the state of mind that they're coming through?
I most usually just study with Mystery School. If you channel with Orion, you find that Mystery School is something that's there, and it's something that is kind of a light push towards scholastic achievement.
Okay, right on. I didn't mean to come at you in a like a stern manner. I just had to correct some things that I wanted to make sure that I haven't seen that suit in a long time. So that suit is it's part of the plasma team. What they do is they work with high radiation, and the radiation that they're working with, it goes through the suit and it's purified through the suit and it's released back into the system.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I do find it. I don't know. You may be like me, but whatever avatar I put up on my profile on either my phone or my wallpaper on my phone or something like this has an effect on me. So I'll have to
Interesting.
be more conscious of that.
Right on. Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. See,
Awesome. Like a Vega Mining Corporation deal, right? You know,
Yeah.
some regenerated airs so we can reclimate our planet and shit, you know, if that ever happens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, our planet's going to be good. It's all good. This planet Earth is in a good space. The other planet Earth in the other parallel reality is going down a different track, though.
Well, you know, Vega and Orion Wars years ago is like something that I know that I ascended from into here, or either way. So what's going on here on planet Earth is the same thing that went on in Orion years ago in Vega, and that's this mass media and all the information moving around now is, you know, there's going to be a struggle for the mindset of the planet, and it's not really the players that had the finger on the button before.
Yeah. Well, the good news is I can tell you, being from Mars and a contactee, that this particular Earth that we're in right now is not going to go into a path of destruction. There is another Earth in a parallel reality that is going that way, but I can tell you that we are now in a level of frequency 2024 where there's things are going to be way different. Just want to let you know that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think our time has passed of danger. I think really the 2012, between 2012 2016 was the passing of our scary stage of us not being able to eclipse into the fifth dimensional stuff that was going to save us.
Oh yeah, we're going to go way higher than that even. You know, the fifth dimension is, there's so many dimensions of light that we haven't even comprehended them yet.
Yeah, but in a sense, that had to become the base plate after in that realm.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I believe that we're there.
I think I think Godico's trying to speak. I had my radio on earlier, and I had Godico come. Wow, this is crazy, man.
Yeah,
I swear.
Godico.
Yeah, Godico's let me explain something because I know you don't know about this, native. Over a month ago, Space Being spoke through an app called the Alexa app in my daughter's room. I was on live in my show Encounters. I went into my daughter's room, got up for my broadcast, and I heard a Billie Holiday song ending with "I'm going to the moon and I'll see you soon." It's a classic song. Days later, I hear static on my phone here when I'm doing my live broadcast, and a space being starts speaking. Then, as time goes on, my friend John and I get together, and through radio frequency communications, I am speaking to Gattaco from the star system Sirius in the constellation Sirius. So this is, we've been doing Friday night lives. I got a special radio now, and we've been in contact. And earlier tonight, I put my radio on, used the pyramid and my crystals, and Gattaco was coming through a little bit on my radio, and people here were, earlier, and John doesn't know this, but people were on earlier saying, "Oh, I hear Gattaco." I said, "Yes." I said, "I'm able to do this right here at my location too." So I've learned to be able to do this. And John, my friend John, who's on the West Coast in Arizona, we use the same frequency, and Gattaco is able to communicate information. And we're facilitated the communication. We're still learning about their civilization. Gattaco has a very lighthearted sense of humor, which I found out in the last month, as we both know. And so that's what it is. Gattaco is a space being, very, very, they're not translucent, but they are bluish in color, and they're about 7 to 8 feet tall.
Very interesting.
Yeah, just so you know, since you're new to the whole thing here.
That's very interesting that's how the communication started, because it's really kind of how it started with me years ago. In fact, I'd stage my house like that now. I keep running box fans and air purifiers and stuff like that to produce that noise, so I can hear them when they're talking.
Yeah, we don't even do that. We just have radio frequency. It's static.
That's too funny.
That's probably what you're doing is probably true. For me, it was all radio static, which I've learned about static with John, about static frequencies. And I knew nothing about static. I knew about radio frequencies because I was a ham operator years ago. So I know about I know about frequencies to the end of time. But so just having that knowledge of frequencies, the static part with this communications is something I've only learned over the last month. I mean, I didn't know anything about the static and communications. So yeah, interesting.
The reason why I interviewed you like that when I first came on, so I have a blueprint. You asked a question about the Stonehenge, right?
Who, me or Native
Yeah, I
Tribe
did
One?
actually. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, no, Native.
John, thank you for looking at my page. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I just want to make sure I was coming correct before I spoke to you. This map that I'm about to show you here is a map for the things that you were looking for. But when you look at this map, I just want you to close one eye. Hey, Commander, is your live protected by 18 years old and up?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so no, there should be no kicking of anybody, or you getting.
Well, I think we need to be careful. It says 18 and older, but I've never had a problem. But I think we need to just maybe be careful. Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, just keep it in moderation. But what I was saying is, I was talking to a TikTok Oculus. Take in Silo 3 and drop it by 1,000. The thing is that I wasn't doing that on my live. I was not making it 18 and up. So I was being bananaed. So if everybody understands that they now need to make their live 18 and up, you won't get banned. You can speak and say whatever you want. You can cuss in there, do whatever you want. That is the protection for the children. If they come in, they would have to shut down the live immediately.
Yeah.
So now that we have the understanding that it shouldn't be any people getting banned anymore. We should all be able to say our piece, because that is one of our amendments, right? Which one is it? The First Amendment?
Yeah, I think I have my things on the setting, which I want to double check here.
I cuss all the time, and I don't want to get you in trouble when I cuss all the time. I try not to. I honestly do.
I know you try. I don't remember, so I'm going to be careful. I have it set for 18 plus, but I don't remember at the moment.
Okay. I'm gonna just I guess gotta do another measurements on here. This diagram is for you to understand because are you native by chance? I'm asking not just your name, just in general.
No, in part I am.
Cherokee.
Creek and Cherokee from Alabama.
Okay, that's good. I just want to make sure that it was you because I had information in the Galactic Force. I was talking to them earlier today, and the reasoning for this element that you put up there, only a select few know of this element, especially when back in the day, natives didn't really know anything about it other than they would try to ingest it because it would make them hallucinate to a certain point.
Okay.
Like peyote. Have you ever heard of that, Commander?
Yeah. The Hopi Indian tribes, the spiritual elders, they use that for spiritual purposes.
Okay, all right.
I know all about that history. Yeah.
Oh, cool, sweet. Then I might have some questions for you.
But I never took it. I never used it for my
neither
spiritual work. But I know that I know that people that were indigenous, that were friends of mine in Connecticut, they would talk about how they would use it for very spiritual discipline practices. Unlike Western young people, they would use it for spiritual enlightenment from that perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's what I know. I mean,
Is induced by throwing up?
I don't know about that. They didn't throw up. They just if they were using peyote, the cultures that the people that I knew that were indigenous would tell me that it took them into a state of cosmic consciousness.
Okay.
There was no throwing up at all. It was just purely advancing their consciousness. Interesting. What is that chart we're looking at, John? And if you listen to the show right now, as John and I were all on here, there's a slight bit of static that's been with the show pretty much all night. I have my radio off now, but we've had a little bit of static here. It's about 1:15 in the morning.
Oh, where you guys are at? It's 1:15.
Yeah, I'm in Connecticut. My cat's coming back. I'm in Connecticut. Hey, come on up. You want to come up, baby? What are you doing? I'm talking to the cat. Yeah, we're in the East Coast. I think. Yeah, we're up here. It's about 1:15 a.m. in the morning.
So the one I was going to show you first was that one. That's the original set plate. You understand that one? This is for your Stonehenge right here.
Interesting.
You see that?
So it goes by the height of the pieces that are there, and then you place them in a certain pattern, and they'll match up to the Orion's system of the constellations.
Yeah. So what John's showing you is he's charting out. He charts out everything.
Great pyramids as well, you know.
That was the first line of travel.
Correct.
So no, they no
That's
longer.
what all my contact is that Orion is the cradle of civilization as far as we'll ever know around this way.
Okay. All right.
That's really cool. I'm not that you have a different side of the brain than I was allowed to have with that stuff.
Oh yeah, he's pretty tuned into a lot of things here, man. Hey, no.
Oh, there goes that. Now let's see it from this view here. Hey. And we went Oculus shopping list.
Yeah,
Vertebrae clips.
vertebrae clips.
Not from Amazon, remember?
Oh yeah,
You're the bad guy, not me.
I know. I got my little beautiful. I love this thing, man. This copper pyramid.
Very cool. I
And
collect
this thing
pyramids.
is. Oh, I activate everything I get. I have so many crystals, but this
I
pyramid.
just broke mine.
You broke your pyramid.
Yeah, I just dropped it right now on the ground.
Oh man, we're gonna have to get you a copper pyramid. John, I'm gonna have to get you a copper pyramid, man.
Yeah, I haven't been to the rock place yet, but I wanted to see why wasn't this taking an effect here? Why isn't it taking effect? Is it this way? Oh, we changed it. Okay, the light spectrum changed. That's good news then. Okay, now, then if that is the case, then this is going to be exactly. Hold on, get on there.
Etheric, did I see the copper Merkaba? No, I'd love to see those. Copper
Can you guys see
Merkabas?
that? Blurry.
I can see the light from here. You want to explain what that is with the light?
What's it doing?
I've got a few things right here.
Let me see.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at that, man. You got some really cool pyramids there.
Wait a minute. Oh yeah, see that's the one I just had. I just put that one on the ground. Oh.
Look at that. I like
This
the
is
one.
one I picked up.
That's very cool. I love your pyramid also, the one in the back, the big one. That's lit up like a really pure white light.
Yep. Keeps solid energy going in the house. And then I've got one that's more authentic.
Yeah. Very, very cool. You got some cool pyramids there, man. You're watching Encounters, everybody. As people share their pyramids with us. Are you playing with radio frequencies, John?
What did you say?
Are you on radio frequencies? I hear static.
Yeah, that was me. I was in the background. I was just seeing if they changed the level or not.
Okay. I just want to let God Echo know I'm going to be going to sleep in a few minutes. So God Echo, if you're going to be speaking at 1:20 in the morning, the commander's on planet Earth, and I will be going to sleep probably in a few minutes. Because we know, John and I know this to be true, that God Echo has no sense of sleep.
Yeah.
At least they don't. The men and women. They don't. I mean, the men and women on that planet and their children, I'm sure they sleep, whatever that is in their culture, but they don't know that we as human beings do eventually go to sleep.
Yeah.
I am totally familiar with that, actually.
Yeah.
Yep, just all night long.
And I guarantee you, Gadako's going to come in here 2 minutes before I'm ready to go to sleep, and he's going to say to me, Commander, why do you have to go to sleep, Commander? Why are you going to sleep?
So those officers, after I talked to those officers last night,
yeah,
I said, I usually don't speak to you guys. When he came up to me after we got off the live, and I said, because I don't want to infringe my rights to speak, and he says, oh no, we weren't going to do that to you. We know who you are. And I go, you know who I am? And he goes, you're John Connor on TikTok. I said, oh God, dude, come on. Like, you guys watch me on TikTok? And he goes, well, after the case of the Mesa PD sending the SWAT team to your house, you kind of became famous. So we wanted to see what you're really doing. And we found out that you weren't really doing anything that was going towards what you were being blamed for. And I said, when did this air on TikTok? He goes, well, one of your neighbors put it up there in one of her posts. I said, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Maybe
Right?
if they'll hear us, you and I talking with a space being, they say, wow, this is really interesting.
That's what I was hoping that he was going to say, but he didn't say anything to me about that.
In time, they will hear that one. They'll hear that show.
One of
It
these
will
days.
happen. One of these days. It's we'll stay on until about 1:30, and then we're gonna call it a night here on Encounters. John, what is that you're doing?
This, I want to say, it's going to put off a reflection. I don't think I'm going to enter, because I wanted to go get a understanding of, like, put a light trail.
Yeah.
And because you could bring the light through here, but when you do this one, see how it puts out a star in there?
Yeah.
So if I have that going through, being put through, and I went like this, or I went like this. Now, see,
Thank you, Jackie. Look. Oh yeah.
So I was seeing what I would pick up, and it was picking up sounds, and it was transferring it into language, a light language of the descendants of
Lemuria? I was getting Lemuria, but I could be wrong.
John, where are you located?
Mesa, Arizona.
Is that northern, southern?
It's right in the middle, boss.
I wonder a lot about Arizona because I live about 10 or 15 miles north of the 33rd parallel that runs through Alabama, that also runs through Arizona, of course.
Correct. That's the same. That's the same Florida field. The vortex funneling that I'm going to use to go to Commander's place in Maryland.
Oh, in
There
Connecticut,
you
you
go.
mean?
What did you say? Connecticut?
Connecticut, not Maryland.
Well, Connecticut is on the way there.
It's on the way there. You're close. We're interdimensionally traveling from state to state. So,
And I want to show you this, Commander, too.
It says, doesn't Connecticut spell connect, I cut?
Yeah, I mean, it actually
Connecticut.
is an indigenous name for the original tribal people that lived here, and they still do, some of them.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. We gotta go. I better be careful. If I say Godico's name, he's going to probably come in. Godico. Okay. Godico. Well, we're on radio frequencies. Godico, this is Commander Alion. I'm going to sleep. You have anything to say? I feel like it's just natural for me to say, hey, Godico, I'm going to sleep. Do you have anything to say? I'm going to go to sleep, Godico. Are you sleeping on your spaceship tonight, Godico? Your family sleeping on
my ship? I don't sleep at all. I'm a party animal.
I'm a party animal. I listen to Billie Holiday. I party with her. He likes the classics. He likes a lot of music.
David Bowie.
We're really trying to learn a lot more. We haven't learned a lot yet about their planet, so there's a lot of serious questions we have that we haven't been able to delve into. But we're learning to get there.
Commander,
yeah.
I got you something.
What'd you get? What is that? Looks like a radio of some sort. It's a two-way communicator radio.
And I put a hyperdrive disk in there so you can talk to up to this. You ready for it? Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm ready. What's going to happen?
Can you give me like a Mr. Burns, like when he goes like this? He goes. Excellent. With his fingers.
Excellent.
There you go. Nice.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see this here. So, yeah, I just finished that. That's good. That was your Christmas present there. So,
Oh, thank you.
it's already set up to even if I did it over here without it even being plugged in. See? This
Oh,
thing's
yeah.
gonna go.
What's it gonna do?
Oh, you can enhance any type of static, any type of.
Oh, wow.
Okay. With that being said, let me just go back to what I was. This is what I was trying to tell you. This is what I got. This is what I took out of there, because this is all the different wavelengths that you can get. Right. Each one of these is a selector of the broadband, but now it's on a hyperdrive. The hyperdrive is like this, but it's auto. It's like these. This is really hard to turn here to dial.
Yeah.
But this one over here, you can hyperdrive it to. This is all easy to go up, down.
All frequencies, and then you don't need any kind of antenna to it, right? There's no antenna.
I'll send you. I'll give you an antenna. The antenna that's going to go on there. You can put any source, and then I'm going to send this with you, so you can go on different broadbands here, like this. You hit
That's
one.
crazy.
And you go all the way up, and then that'll be your input, and your output. And it's a step actuator.
Huh.
So you'll like that. Now, I'm going to show you what I was talking about. I need to get my tripod here. Where did everybody go that was on your live? They just all left.
No, I have 185 people on here still.
No. I thought Chesno was on here and Grace. No.
They were on earlier tonight. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're probably sleeping. They're both in Connecticut with me, so they're probably asleep.
Okay, because what I didn't want to do is invade your. Even though I'm part of your show, I just didn't want to invade anybody else's time, because I don't want to be a hog with anybody's time at all. I don't want to be like the one that's on there and people not getting their time to spend on your show.
No, we're definitely doing that. So let's do one or two more things here before, and then what I'll do is I want to thank. We have like almost 70,000 likes. I want to ask also people while we're doing this before I go off the air tonight is to please show your support for the show. You can do that with TikTok coins, and you can give us any kind of gifting you would like that would help what we're doing, the work we're doing here. You can do my Venmo account on my Cash App. So I really encourage gifting. There's nothing to be ashamed of asking if you're doing something that is benefiting the planet Earth. I myself unconditionally ask of that for others, that if you wish to do it, what I do here. Please send some TikTok gifts right now before we end the show tonight. We appreciate it. We want to thank everybody who's been gifting throughout the evening. Gwen, welcome. Gwen, Jade, all the new people. So please do that. And we're going to turn it back to John for a minute, and then we're going to call it a night until tomorrow night, Sunday night. And it is snowing here in Connecticut. So when I say gifting, if you can send us your gifts directly to Commander Alion here, please make sure you do that, so we know you're supporting the show. That really is important. We really do appreciate it, so you don't get confused about the program, the host, and all this other stuff going on. And Jessica, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
I may, thank you, Commander.
Oh, that's cool. Look at you, medieval man.
Wow, that was very cool. Hey, Native Tribe, we appreciate you coming on, man. We learned a lot about
being honest.
Yeah, I appreciate your talking about your how you became interested in the Anunnaki for over 8 years, from being this other person who was just a regular human being. And in truth, as we all know in this journey, We're not really normal human beings. There's only no such thing as like a normal everyday life human being. Once you become in this field of becoming activated, whether it be with the Anunnaki history or whether it be my Ashtar Command contactee experiences in the 60s when I had my first spaceship sightings, whatever it is that gets you there, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? And we thank you for coming on here and sharing some of your stories.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate what you're doing in a way that maybe you and John at least understand is it's a service. There's when you've had something like this going on your whole
Thank you,
life,
Donna.
and then you're all of a sudden given a way to pour it out somewhere. It's almost like a purge. So you're doing an awesome job of creating a format for something like that. Maybe I can come back another time.
We appreciate that. That's why we do. My radio background is with NPR Pacifica Radio for over 20 years. And I took my radio format and decided when I came to TikTok to do a TV program called Encounters. And it was the best decision I ever made. And, so we have no agendas here. I can relate to people because I am a contactee from the 60s. And I've also worked with the Ashtar Command before there was ever internets and websites. So there's a lot of things. I'm like a cosmic book. So yeah, I'm glad you came on and I appreciate it. And you'll definitely come on again for sure.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hey man, take care. Have a good one. All right. That was Native Tribe. I want to thank him for being here. And John's here with me for a few more minutes and then we're going to go to sleep.
Right. I have no sleep. I slept already.
You slept? He slept already. I haven't slept at all.
Hold on, I'm getting
and
to
Friends with Fairies. Friends with Fairies in Vermont is still up at almost 1:34 a.m. Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for the roses. Thank you, everybody, for the gifts. We appreciate it.
There's a reason why I'm showing you all this.
That looks like the cycle of the Earth or the Moon or something going around the Earth. Or the Earth going around the Moon.
Right. Okay. So, what is that? Oh, I thought I sent this in already. Dang, I'm gonna send this in. Hey, if I win, bro, you're in it.
I think you're gonna win. I think you're gonna win it.
I think I'm gonna win it too.
Yeah, I think you will. There's no way you're not gonna win it. There's just there's no way you're not gonna win it.
Well, they should because I'm the one that buys all their books. I'm almost to the and this is called this dictionary I'm looking at. It's called the.
Oh, interesting. Reverse dictionary.
Yeah. So why do they call it the reverse? Reverse because it shows you things that come to your mind normally that slip your tongue. Right. I'll show you in the beginning. Now, if you guys understand why they call you living off of maritime law is because you were a sea monster because you live on a ship because you're on water. Now that the ships have arrived to land that have been brought the waters from the waters, the Hyperion Naval Fleet. You ready for this, Commander?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm almost there.
Oh wow, that's electricity charged up from the atmosphere.
Right. Nikola Tesla was not born in this one. He was born through this. Look how much positive.
Oh, look
Truth.
at that. That's way different.
Yep. He was born in this storm right here, not this kind.
Wow, it's a big difference.
Yeah. Right.
Very different.
Okay. Here we go. It's almost here.
And if we get to that one, then we're gonna call it a night.
Oops.
I might just sleep out here. I don't want to wake up my other half of my life.
The basic way of speaking, all the way back to its very, very true source of known to man.
Wow. And can you explain what I'm looking at here, or what we're all looking at here?
Okay, we're going to start
languages.
Okay, right. So it started at what kind of language? Right there.
Oh, wait a minute. Scottish. Okay, I'm looking at all the things. Irish, Yiddish, all the connections. A lot of connections in languages. Interesting.
Right? Because it was Sanskrit, Indo-Iranian, Slavic. Did anybody see English yet?
Not yet. My eyes could be going on me right now, but I do see Middle English. Yeah, English, Middle English. Something other Old English.
So derived from German, Dutch, German, down to Yiddish, High German, Low German, Dutch, English, and all the way up to Norwegian.
Wow.
So,
all right.
There's a lot more to that, but I'm gonna let you go. All the gifts right now that I just got, I'm gonna send those your way.
All right, man. And pretty soon, in this near future, we're joining a special broadcast, John and I, where he will be going through a Stargate into my friend's crystal store. We'll keep you updated once that's ready to happen, probably towards the warmer weather. What do you think the timeline on that might be, John? Do you know?
What, me traveling?
Yeah, traveling. Yeah.
Oh, pretty soon here. I'm trying to get this whole machine under control because it's balanced, but it's not balanced to the point where I can walk into it. I mean, if I went into, let's see, what would you call that? If I did a funnel,
yeah,
I would be able to do it, but I wouldn't be able to get back.
Oh yeah, so we want to make sure you're able to go back and forth. So it all happens in good time. You know, you have to make sure you're safe too going through it.
Right, and if I do anything, if I just show up there, I'll make sure I have a GoPro that you're gonna see me walking into the portal and walking out into that area. I will not get on a plane. I won't get on a helicopter. I won't get on a boat or a train, whatever you want to.
John will come right through on my live broadcast in the crystal store. You'll see him coming right through live, something no one's ever seen anywhere in the world. You'll see it right on my live here on Encounters. And now we're planning that out. We're being very careful, and especially John, because he's the one who's building it, and we want to make sure that he comes through safely and is able to go back to Arizona safely too.
You got really good viewers in your live, and I respect all of them. And,
yeah, they're all good people. Yeah, thank goodness for that. Plus, good moderators too. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. So if you understand the funneling of each lave line and what color and how to do it, you'll be able to get into a point of transformation into the true. This is on a show that you guys watch. Well, some people watched it. Okay, and then you go like this. Now watch. Okay, here we go. Ready? Go up.
Yeah. Take care, Jackie.
Woo! What happened there?
Wow, look at that.
What does that mean?
What's going on? I see colors.
It says new matchup power up at event to excite the lives. You have met the top of the power of your TikTok live. Wait a minute. This is for you.
What does that mean?
I'm going to screenshot and I'll send it to you.
Wait a minute. Is that coming from messaging that you're getting, or what's going on?
Yeah, from when I showed that lens right there. It won't let me get out of here. There we go. That was weird.
Wait a minute. So something weird just happened.
What?
I have no
Naturally.
idea.
Naturally.
Now I'm echoing. I'm echoing
I'm
now.
echoing now.
Do you hear me
Do you
echoing,
hear me
John?
echoing, John?
This is what came up right here.
This is really
This
weird.
is really weird.
John, let me mute you for just a second.
Go ahead.
I'm going to mute you for a second, I think. Okay, it's on your end. So when you're unmuted, then I'm echoing. That's really weird. Wait a minute, hold on a second, something here. Oh, I think it might be my, I think I need to charge up my thing here. John, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's what came up when I was.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's my, oh, now I'm not echoing anymore. That was weird.
What is that about?
I don't know. The messaging thing, that whole thing, that threw me off. The messaging thing. Hey, Rachel, what did the messaging thing just say about I reached my potential or something?
Yeah, that's what it said right here. This thing, and it said that you reach your power points up to where you can level and fight against people in battles.
In
I don't think you got
battles.
as a commander.
Oh, no, I'm not battling anybody.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's for TikTok. It wants me to know that I can battle people. You know, I don't want to battle anybody.
Yeah, we got all the time in the world to do that, right?
Yeah. How do we get out of that?
I don't know. I'm on all that. The last.
Okay.
I'm gonna get out of here. Get me out of here.
Yeah, I don't want to battle anybody.
Yeah. No battling.
All right. We're going to say good night to everybody. John, have a good night, man. That battling TikTok icon thingy's up on the screen.
Get out of here.
And we're getting out of the battling thing, so we're not battling anybody. 73,000 people. Okay. Hey, thank you, everybody. I love you all. It's time for me to call it a night. Donna Gems, everybody. Have a great night. We appreciate all your gifts. Please subscribe to my TikTok if you haven't done so. I got to get some sleep. Tonight we're having some snow. Tomorrow some snow. First real snow in New England of the season. Rabbi, everybody, take well. Transcending. Y'all have a good night. Lisa, Jedi, I appreciate all the love and likes. Well, take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night on Encounters, the late night, and this is really late night talk show. John Connors is going live. He's awake. He'll be going live. So if you see him going live, jump into his room and say hello. Everybody, take care.